Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day.
How to write this? We are live discussing the trip two sex traffickers, Andrew and Tristan Tate, just took to the U.S. All right, that works.
That's good. That's good.
Should have put something about being rapists as well, but
yeah, I'm kind of a little bit out of breath because I'm kind of.
That was. What was I just telling you? Do some cardio, man. You're like, oh, let me plug this wire in. I can't breathe.
I just received the computer that I ordered weeks ago, and it arrived.
Is it a Predator?
But unfortunately not. And I've been trying to set it up, and I kind of thought I could get it done in time, but it did not. I did not get it done in time, so just trying to figure things out. It's kind of awkward because so until now I would use a laptop and have a laptop in the middle. My laptop screen was in the middle, and I had two screens on the side. And with my order of the computer, everything arrived. So the computer arrived, but I also ordered a monitor with it. The monitor did not arrive, and now the middle is kind of empty and naked, and I'm like, what? This is very confusing.
Computer with no monitor. This is apartheid.
Yeah. So I put the two monitors together, and now I have two monitors, and it's kind of weird. Anyway, so just kind of going through this kind of stuff, figuring it out. I need to work on this some more. However, I wanted to do this live stream anyway. I thought earlier maybe I should just cancel this, man. It's just too stressful right now. But then there's unfortunately too much going on here right now.
A lot of stuff going on.
Like what is going on, David?
You got your buddy, your hero, your role model for you. Millions of other young Turkish, German kids. Andrew Tate. I haven't been terribly following the story closely, but looks like Andrew Tate jumped on a plane from Romania, him and Tristan, and flew over to the United States after someone in the United States complained to the Romanian government to let these guys slide a little bit. As far as I can tell, still has to go to court and all that stuff, but he's allowed to travel now, in which case, hard to believe he'll go back.
Yeah, so the news just broke last night. I remember like you sent me a message just when I also saw it, and the news was that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate just suddenly abruptly were seen leaving the country and traveling over to the United States of America. And of course, the first message was that this is a result of U.S. pressure on the Romanian government or the Romanian court or the Romanian prosecution, whatever it is. So I started calling them out. Other people started calling them out. And things have been developing all day long. And lots of people, there's just so much fighting going on right now. Like this whole day is conservative circles and Republican voters and so on. Everybody is complaining about the party and about the administration for one of few reasons. One of the reasons is the Tates. This is
I think it's pronounced. I think when it's plural, it's Teats.
Teats, yeah.
Teats, yeah. The Teats.
They're complaining about the Teats,
yeah.
And
plural of Tate.
And then there's also the Jeffrey Epstein thing going on right now, where everybody was like, Jeffrey Epstein files are going to be released today. All the pedophiles, they're hiding, they're scared.
This guy I hate is probably on the list. No, I can expose him.
But I was thinking that it's probably not going to be anything at all. But I also didn't want to speak bigly. But here we are. It's been released. Sorry, it hasn't been released. It's like the beginning
the first
of a very redacted version of things has been released to several influencers, and apparently there's nothing there that we didn't already know. It's just a big nothing that has been released.
That's what you think.
But what is the reality?
I don't know. I haven't checked it out.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So how is everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing?
Yo,
Ayatollah
what's
Khamenei
up?
says, in a shocking turn of events, Alina Habba is married to a Jew. She's off the hook this time. Wait, she is? That's kind of funny. Alina Habba. Alina Habba is an Iraqi woman who is interesting. Greg Rubin. Okay, that definitely sounds Jewish. That's interesting. That's very, very funny. That's very, very funny.
You see, this is a proof that the Jews run the sex trafficking scheme in the U.S.
So
This is why they're covering for Tate.
of course, I have been. As soon as I heard of the developments around Andrew Tate, I started posting about it, and then some people are like, "Oh, you're having a too strong reaction to it. It's like too emotional." Yes, if something like this happens, and if our government, if my administration, my government, actually starts standing up for or seemingly starts supporting the sex traffickers, Andrew Tate, I will have a strong reaction to it. I'll have a very strong reaction to it because I actually feel
Because you're weak.
quite passionate about the fact that a government that is supposed to fight trafficking and things like that actually interferes in a legal process and invites an actual sex trafficker over or helps them come over. Now everything is still kind of unclear. Nobody really knows what is happening. But and Donald Trump was actually asked about this, and he said, oh, I don't know anything about it.
I didn't know anything about that. Which by the way, entirely possible. We know that Andrew Tate has a couple of fans who have places of importance in the current government. So always possible that any one of those people, Alina herself, one of the others, went and pulled some strings, said, we'd be really, really happy with Romania if you let the Tates travel before their trial. Could be something as simple as that. In other words, could be something where it's like one person involved, one dirtbag involved. Or it could be a situation where there's a bunch of people behind the scenes and going, you know what, let's get Tate out of there. Because he's so based.
Let's get Tate out of there.
Or let's get Tate out of there because this dude's got some incriminating video of me doing something with one of his cam girls, and he called in the favor now, and I have to get him out of this.
That's very disgusting. So let us have a look at these things here. All right. So let's look into this. So Republican Governor DeSantis says that Florida does not welcome Andrew Tate and his brother.
Weakling! Then we don't need Florida anymore.
Following news of them flying to Florida from Romania. We also have a video of that. We don't have to watch it. We don't have to read it. It's right here. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was asked about the development, and he had the following words to say.
Whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at...
You know what I hate? I personally don't have any hate for human beings. I also don't believe in the death penalty, but I make an exception for people who cut videos the wrong way and just start in the middle of the topic.
Mm-hmm. Hey, by the way, it is nice though that everything anyone posts about Tate, it gets flooded with stuff exposing him.
Yes.
Hey guys, this is a good time to be following Milk Bar and Murdered by Crayons. They post all the Tate stuff. Good time to be sharing this stuff. And guys, just to be clear, I'm talking about true information here, because Tate, more than almost anyone except a Dawa guy, is a compulsive liar. And every situation that arises, like I guarantee right now, it's you see all the charges have been dropped against me because the case file is empty. And he's telling that to reporters and so on. Complete nonsense. But the man can't stop lying. And so there's a couple of channels that focus on correcting the lies he tells and saying, no, actually, you said this. They basically spend a lot of time fact checking Andrew Tate, which is a full-time job. So check out those channels.
That is true. That's.
Is he welcome here? What the state do? Send him back to Romania or whatever?
Well, we have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media.
I hate that this is so quiet, man.
Yeah, some people upload. That's the other thing people should get a death penalty for, uploading quiet videos.
Government
Yeah.
And then the people who don't bother downloading them for themselves before a live stream and then adjusting the volume.
The federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States. And I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening.
So what he's saying is that people like Andrew Tate, who just tell young people to go and work out and be confident, are not welcome in the state of Florida.
Yeah, he should have kept going. He should have been like, so, to Andrew Tate, just want to make it clear. No, we do not want you. We don't want your stupid brother. We don't want your Bugattis down here. Keep those things to yourself. We don't want those little Daisy Dukes that you run around shaking things in. We don't want any of that. And especially not your sex trafficking. Stay out of Florida or you will regret it. That'd have been the dopest.
Now here Elijah Simmons says, I like you apostate. Do you say this to kind of sweeten my response or something?
Yeah, that's all. Hey, it's I like you, but you don't get this like 80 times a day. David, I like your videos, but only when you make fun of Islam and never when you talk about atheists. Why can't you only be what I like and not something else? Why can't you just agree with me?
I like your apostate. I listen to like 80% of your videos, but you're too obsessed with Tate, bro. He hasn't been charged with anything.
He's been charged with I can't tell if this is a joke at this point. Because you do have the idiots who go, he's never been charged with anything. And then like he's been charged with tons of stuff.
Like Andrew Tate is actually charged. He has actually been charged, and the case that he has been charged on is ongoing. They are on the what's it called? So they are currently under a form of arrest.
Yeah, judicial
control. And he is also under investigation currently for different charges that are still pending, that might still be added onto it, despite the fact that he has been apparently given permission to travel to the U.S. He has been charged, and the trials or the cases against him and against them are still ongoing. So when you say that he hasn't been charged, I don't think you understand what charged means. Charged means
that, we're not talking about your phone, buddy.
Charged means
like, I didn't see the Romanian government plug Andrew Tate into a wall to charge him.
Like, that's not what charge means here, dummy.
He hasn't been convicted, but he has been charged, which means there is enough evidence to build a case that there may be guilt, there may be crimes involved by Andrew Tate. And in this case, we already have the charges. And, I published this back in August 2023. It's been quite a while. So here are the charges on Andrew Tate: forming an organized criminal group, human trafficking in continued form.
That's the worst one.
For multiple different occasions, and rape in a continued form, 2 material acts. Along with this, these are very, very serious charges. Mm-hmm. Along with this, there are also still ongoing investigations for charges that relate to trafficking minors. trafficking minors. That is based on his own statements and also communications obtained and presented by the prosecution to the court. So he definitely is charged. As for you are obsessed, yes, I am obsessed. I am, in fact, obsessed with something like this, because what I see is that lots of people out there, because they think, oh, Andrew Tate, he's so cool. He says things that young people like, and men just get good advice from him, and so on. They downplay the horrible things that Andrew Tate has done, that he has admitted, that have been revealed about him, that have been documented. They want to whitewash him and downplay him and make him look like a hero who is totally not guilty, who is unjustly persecuted. And I am obsessed with figuring out the truth about this and countering it and telling people, no, you are wrong. This guy is a complete piece of filth and he deserves to be in prison. I am indeed obsessed with that. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, let me just add to that and give a clarification. The reason we have spent time talking about Andrew Tate over the past couple of years is because Andrew Tate and his lies, right? He did a bunch of messed up stuff to some girls, and he used a method that is well understood in the pimp game, the lover boy method. He modified it to use for webcam stuff, but used the exact same method, and it's illegal. It's illegal to use that method. Human trafficking is illegal. He meets all the requirements. But here's the thing. If he had just done that, guess what? People get arrested for sex trafficking all the time. That happens all the time. That happens daily somewhere in the world. Why aren't we talking about that? Tate is a little different. He's popular online. And because he was popular online, it gives him a megaphone to constantly lie, to act like he didn't do anything, to act like it's all made up. It's the Matrix and so on. And because the world is filled with tons and tons of stupid people who believe any idiotic thing their hero says, you end up with a bunch of morons running around the internet saying a bunch of false things.
Very rude.
And hence you end up with a handful of people who actually say, you know what, we need to respond to this stuff. We need to respond to this. So why are we talking about this? Because Andrew Tate lies and his stupid, idiot, gullible fans lie for him. And then someone steps in to correct the lies. Why? We don't like seeing sex traffickers lie their way out of what they've done.
Why? Because you're jealous because you're not sex trafficker.
I want to be sex traffickers too.
1, BAP. 2, buy a new gaming computer to play KCD2. I actually do play it, and I think it's an amazing game.
What's KCD?
In a way, pretty sure that this is referring to a game called Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh, I was trying to fit Call of Duty in there. It's like Killer Call of Duty,
no.
Kingdom of Call of Duty.
It's a historically accurate game of the 1400s or something. Decide to unbox computer 5 minutes before you go live. Spend 3 weeks updating Windows. Yeah, That's what's going to happen. I'm going to spend the whole night now setting up everything here. So
yeah, you guys should have heard him before the show.
My password for Twitter's not in here. I don't know how to get into Twitter. I will smash this thing.
KCD2 went woke. It did it a little bit, but not too much. So I think it's still kind of cool. But it's just the wokeism is inevitable with everything right now. It's kind of insane, man. You want to have a freaking historical depiction about very, very interesting times in European Christian history, and they have to bring completely unrelated woke stuff into it. It's just so stupid. Anyway, Ayatollah Khamenei to the face when we find out AP got his new computer from Temu. No. Sarah, what's up, Sarah? Being this late for EU is literally genocide. It should be genocide. It should be considered genocide. Vincent Khatibi, good evening, Mr. Toot and Dr. Wood. Based. That's a good one. That's a good one. Anyway, so Ron DeSantis says Andrew Tate is not welcome because he is somebody with horrible views. Joel Berry says, "Isn't this guy
Andrew Tate said, oh, I'm gonna go to Florida now that I'm here in the U.S. I'm gonna go to Florida to go harass one of my victims. And DeSantis said, "How about no?"
How about no? I don't buy your sex trafficking. It looked like Trump made an exception to his no rapists and sex traffickers crossing the border policy, said Joe Barry from the Babylon Bee.
Hey, hey, speaking of that, did you see there's his new $5 million gold card?
No, I
Maybe
didn't.
Tate,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
Tate
yeah, I
bought
did.
one of the five. Maybe the Tates kicked in $5 million each for their gold cards. Maybe that's all. Maybe that's all that was. Trump is like, yeah. So guys, you historically you have the green card. You have the green card. Then Trump says there's going to be some super version called the gold card. And if you pay $5 million to come to the U.S., then you come here and they're going to let you in. It's going to be the gold card. And Trump said, hey, if you get enough of these people, we'll pay off the entire national debt just with these gold cards. So maybe Andrew Tate and Tristan just said, gold cards, we'll take two of those. We'll take two of those. We'll come over right now. Maybe that's how everything happened.
This was super based from the Babylon Bee. Conservatism saved as Muslim sex trafficker brought back to U.S.
It is funny. It is funny. And I like them because they know that he has a ton of fans and that they're basically putting a target on them for all these idiots to come over and start whining like babies. But funny they do it.
That's
Conservatism saved. Funny.
Man, it is totally based. Oh, I don't have my soundboard now. Anyway, it is totally based. So Drew Pavlou says Trump pressured Romania into allowing the Tate brothers to go free. They will likely never step foot in Romania ever again, meaning they will never face justice for their appalling crimes. Now, the good thing is that the Romanian court or the prosecution, I think, actually made a clarification and said that that the Tate's case has not been dropped. They have not been declared innocent. The case has not been thrown out. They have been given temporary permission to travel to the United States, but they must come back. They have to go back. They have to re-enter Romania by the end of March, I believe. And if they fail to appear within the time period, then they will be considered international fugitives, because they also have an extradition for the UK pending. So Romania agreed to extradite the Tates to the United Kingdom, because in the United Kingdom they also have a pending investigation ongoing, and the UK actually requested the extradition of the two, and Romania agreed to it. So these guys are currently only allowed temporarily to travel. If they don't go back, they will be considered fugitives, and I'm not sure what's going to happen now. Lots of people say they will never go back, but that would put America at great, into a really, really bad position. What?
No, their goal right now is to somehow get to a country that doesn't have an extradition policy with Romania. That's their goal. How do you get there? How do you get from you got to the U.S., but if you have charges, the U.S. will along these lines. The U.S. will send you back if required. So their goal right now is to get to a place that doesn't have any sort of extradition policy. And so how do you get out of the United States to some other country where you set up base in this other country? That's what they're looking for.
Set up base.
Because if not, it looks like they're going to be back very soon. And the U.S. will send them back.
Abby, among others, said something very clear, which is 65,000 likes. I voted for an administration that would stop human trafficking at our borders. I voted to get rapists and pedophiles off the streets. Trump's action in freeing the Tate brothers was a stunning betrayal of this mandate. Completely agree.
Again, to be clear, Trump says he has no idea what anyone's talking about with this stuff, right?
That is true.
I don't know if that's the case, but to be fair, we don't know if it's Trump or someone Trump brought in who now has power because you're connected to Trump and is using Trump's name to do this sort of thing. if Trump's behind this, yes, I will gladly call him a hypocritical piece of garbage for doing this. But if it is someone else, it's kind of important to find out who is actually behind this.
Yeah. I also still have a very strong.
And when I say
reaction to that.
hypocritical, yeah, just wanted everyone to know when I say hypocritical piece of garbage, it's because he was saying things during his run for presidency. He was saying things like sex traffickers should get the death penalty and so on. So the idea was he was going to be really hard on sex traffickers. If he instead ends up freeing and liberating sex traffickers, okay, that's like extreme slap in the face to everyone who took him seriously.
There is even a very interesting detail with Donald Trump talking about sex traffickers. When he gave a speech, I think it was after watching that one movie, which I still haven't watched. What was it, Sound of Freedom or something like that? After he watched that movie, he gave a speech and he talked about human trafficking. And he actually pointed something out in that speech that most people did not pay attention to. But at the end of the speech, he actually said that that most human trafficking victims, or the largest number of human trafficking victims, are actually women. And he said women first, children second. So that's what he said. The focus is of course always on children, because people have this kind of weird fantasy that children are being abducted and put into cages and shipped across the world. But Trump actually did point out there that the number one victims are women and then children. So he should be aware. He should be aware of this kind of stuff. If he cannot prevent this, if under his administration, with his power, by through the people he put in power, they help people like Andrew Tate, then I would say Donald Trump is not an idiot. The guy bears responsibility. He has a responsibility. Let's watch the video. In fact, here is them asking Donald Trump what he thinks about it, and he says, "I have no idea."
President Trump, Andrew and Tristan Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused rapists, human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release them? And if so, why?
I know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
That's all he's saying.
And it is important to find stuff out, because if someone is using their new spot that they just got to do stuff like this, you kind of need to know about that, because that's someone you need to keep your eyes on. Someone who's let me get all my buddies out of lockup.
The appropriate reaction would, of course, be if he finds out who did this and if he's actually against it, to be like, "What's wrong with you? You're fired." But
yeah, or even better, and say, "Yeah, so I don't know who in my administration is responsible for this, but I just signed a new executive order. It's the best executive order, but the new policy is anyone who helps a sex trafficker get out of his crime will be charged with the exact same crimes and will have to do the same time." And then look for whoever takes off running. Look for whoever who's in the background who takes off running. And it's like, aha, that's our guy.
There's also, this is kind of cut short. Once again, death penalty for
what the heck is he doing with Keir Starmer, man?
But here's, so the gay guy also commented on this afterward. Let's see.
About it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
I do. Look, obviously this involves, there's an English element here, so obviously it's important that justice is done, and human trafficking is obviously, to my mind, a security risk, and so we'll catch up with the story in due course.
I think.
I wish I were there. I wish I were there. I'd have been Mr. Starmer. But isn't Tate a Muslim now? And doesn't this give him a free pass to traffic as many young girls as he wants?
So he says obviously there's an English element to this. He says, I think what he means by that is that Andrew Tate is a Muslim. I'm just kidding. What he means by that is probably that that Andrew Tate has an extradition pending for the UK, and he's probably aware of this story. So that's most likely what he means, and probably that he's a Muslim. So, yeah. As the main number one Muslim country in Europe, we will of course look into this as the United Kingdom. As the United Kingdom. So that's that. That's that. That's that. Have you seen the story of the BBC, which is very, very wild? The BBC actually admitted that they made a mistake, or that's something.
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
that
I was
they-
actually following. I forget what the guy's name is, but there was the guy who was actually responding, who's an actual journalist, right? And he's like, "Hey, I just did the investigation that you guys should have been doing when you were getting this stuff." And he's the one who's like, "Look who this kid's uncle is, and look who this person's brother is, and look who this person's father is." And he showed that all of this information that's used, that guy, he showed that all of the information used by the BBC is coming straight from Hamas. It's total Hamas propaganda. And they're acting like they're just following around this kid who's telling them about how rough it is to survive and so on, when they're all just being fed straight Hamas propaganda. And then so he called them out. He exposed all the connections and so on. And then the BBC tried to just have a little notice like, oh, yeah, so some stuff is called into question, blah, blah, blah. But then they left it up. And then a day or two later, they took it all down. So big waste of money. And
So what you're
it's
saying
just
is
weird
what
that these
happens
guys
here
just like destroy
is-
their credibility.
What you're saying is what happened here is that they basically went with complete Hamas propaganda to run a story of a Gazan child that is just looking forward to freedom and facing the consequences of the war and so on. But the whole story was just being fed to the BBC from Hamas themselves. They were basically steering the entire thing. That's what you're saying. That's a very big accusation.
That's what happened. This is the BBC. The BBC gets endless trunkloads of money to do this.
That's what they do.
To spout Hamas propaganda. Guys, I just want to be clear on how messed up this is. This is supposedly, now we all know they're a bunch of freaking clowns, but supposedly a world-renowned media organization. And they're like, tell us what to say next, Hamas. I mean, that's like going to ISIS. That's like going to ISIS and saying, "Hey, ISIS, write our entire documentary about you, and we'll play it." That's extremely messed up.
It is kind of messed up. It's
pretty messed up.
Pretty messed up. There's also was this one scene from the BBC where this one here. Okay, wait, let me pull this up. Here. Was this here part of that, or is this a separate thing? I don't know. But here is
it says BBC translation. BBC translation on there.
So here is the Telegraph actually reported about this themselves. The Telegraph says BBC removed references to Jews and jihad in Gaza documentary. And here you can observe what's happening. So this girl here, she talks about the war. And she talks about the Jews. Look what happens here.
بس أكدت لنا هاي الفيديوهات إنه هو ما كانش متخبي تحت الأرض، إنه هو بالعكس هو بقاوم بجاهد ضد اليهود. بس
fighting and resisting Israeli forces.
That's the BBC translation.
أكدت لنا هاي الفيديوهات إنه هو ما كانش متخبي تحت الأرض، إنه هو بالعكس هو بقاوم بجاهد ضد اليهود.
This is the accurate translation provided by the Telegraph. So engaged in resistance and jihad against the Jews. I mean, you can hear it right there if you understand the Arabic. She clearly says Yehud, and the BBC translates Yehud as Israeli forces.
I'm surprised they didn't say Zionist Israeli forces or something like that. Guys, you understand how messed up this is? They're sitting there recording people. And those people can be like, and as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us through Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, we must kill all the Jews until the Jews are hiding behind the rocks and trees, and the rocks and trees cry out, Ya Muslim, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him. And you look at the BBC translation, and it's like, as freedom fighters, we must resist the occupiers, the Zionists. We have no problem with Jews in general, just the Zionists who are oppressing us. And it's like, are you freaking kidding me, guys?
If I learned one thing over these last this last year, it's that the Jews definitely don't control the media. The Jews certainly do not control the media.
Unless they're super, super smart, and then they have the BBC put out the bogus translation just so they can expose the bogus translation through the Telegraph a couple days later and cause massive media chaos.
That could be true as well.
In which case, hats off to them. Well played, my Jewish friends.
That could be true as well. That could be true as well. But yeah, the Jews are apparently the Israeli forces. Hey, did you see this guy still advocates for a two-state solution? Look at it.
So we have to do everything we can to ensure that the ceasefire continues, so that more hostages can be returned, so that aid can be brought in that's desperately needed. We need to allow Palestinians to return and to rebuild their lives, and we must all support them in doing that. And yes, I believe that the two-state solution is ultimately the only way for a lasting peace in the region.
Hey, Trump should have jumped in right there. Well, I'm glad that PM Starmer is on board with the plan. I got the best plan. Let me show everyone my video. Of what this new state is going to be like. It's going to be great. It's going to be very based. It's going to be very based. And just play his video, and then say, so we've got the support of Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who agrees that the whole plan, we've talked about it. No more eating the dogs. No more eating the cats.
So what do you think?
No more eating the pets.
What do you think about the beautiful video that Donald Trump shared of Gaza?
Very based. We're going there. Oh, Robert's going with us. Robert's never played golf either. So you've never played golf. I've never played golf. Robert's never played golf. But we all are going to go and play golf at the new Mara Gaza.
Well, that is very very, very good. But I actually want to have a look at that video because it is a little bit bizarre. And I still, to be very honest, didn't sit down and watch the entire video from beginning to end, although it is a quite relatively short video. Let's watch it together. Let's watch it all together because the part
I can watch it all day.
The part that I've seen of it was a little bit weird.
No. You got to see it in context, man. It's beautiful and glorious. It's going to melt your heart, man. You're going to be like, whoa, glad I voted for this guy.
So here's the video. This is what Donald Trump himself shared on his own account.
See, that's what it's like now. But what's it going to be next? Boom!
Free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear.
Is that Elon?
God.
You got dancing girls in beards?
Girls? So here's Elon eating something weird. And then here are... Now, it's one thing to have a scene where there are a bunch of Middle Eastern belly dancers, but they usually don't have beards like this. What's with the beard?
Yeah, I think the message is the message is we know these Hamas guys, we know they're all really gay and they're only enraged because they're not allowed to explore their sexuality. So if we just make them our dancing girls and shaking their bellies and rumps in our faces, then they won't want to terrorize anyone. And that could be true. Hamas is gay.
Wait, AP follows the guy that made it on Twitter. Who made this? Who made this video? Are you talking about the video? Who made this video? I really don't know who made the video. I really don't know.
Well, it's someone you followed. Brr. How many people do you follow?
I don't know. I follow nearly 1,000 people, so I think.
Ha! What a loser. I follow less than 100 because I'm not.
No, whoever used this is using AI in the poorest way I've seen so far. The music is terrible. The graphs are kind of weird.
Yeah, but the hot dancing Hamas jihadis is pretty cool.
What the heck is this?
Stars are shining bright, golden future, a brand new light.
Who is he dancing with?
Well, at least she doesn't have a beard.
Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future.
It's a 50-foot tall Trump gold statue made of gold.
Oh man,
This looks like something you told ChatGPT to make.
a golden Donald Trump statue in the middle of the road.
Golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the
And then here's this scene, of course.
Is that him with Netanyahu? I can't tell.
Yes.
Now that's funny.
He shared this. Donald Trump shared this. It says Trump Gaza.
Me and BB chilling by the pool with Hamas jihadis dancing for us, shaking their rumps, shaking their rumps. They're Hamas jihadis. They're jihadis from the neck up and jihadis from the neck down.
Statue of New Allah. Yeah.
is done. Trump Gaza #1.
This is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Now, after watching this, it's kind of, it's actually kind of funny, but it is a little bit bizarre. I'm not sure what I would think about this if I was if I was from the region or something like that.
How would you not be like, wow, look at all this place, man. It's just raining money on kids and stuff and all these awesome hotels and buildings. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll give some little golden Trump statues out.
Yeah. I mean, it would be funny if some random person posted this, but for Donald Trump to post this, I don't know. I just don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. Yeah, this is the future of Gaza, everybody. The future of Gaza. The future of Gaza. Let's see. Ayatollah Khamenei says AP challenge plug-in computer difficulty impossible. This is exactly what I was dealing with, man. I couldn't figure out how to turn it on. Now, the funny thing is that I actually used laptops for like forever since I moved out of my parents' home, which was a century ago. This is now the first time that I actually got myself just a regular desktop computer because I wanted a beast or something. Yeah. Sarah F. AP's new computer is Palestinian. It is indeed. It was all made in Palestinian. Mark Moon Fang, I support Tate et al. Extradition back to Romania. Inshallah. Jack Ray, is your new late top really powerful? If so, I guess it can help you hurry up and late, twisting the phrase hurry up and wait. Terrible. This is very, very terrible.
Really, really messed up, Jack.
Remove yourself from this place.
Hey, AP, hey, you know what's cool? Hey, you know what's cool?
What?
Jack Ray gave Robert Spencer his first super chat yesterday.
Oh,
Robert
nice.
finally, after all these years of being demonetized, they just monetized him. And Robert's able to get super chats now. Jack Ray gave him the first one, and then a bunch of people gave him a bunch more. They all celebrated him getting super chats by giving him a bunch of super chats.
I recently wanted to make a super chat and realized, oh, he doesn't even have super chats. But then it's kind of funny. Maybe it's because of me. Maybe because I noticed it and thought about it. Mm-hmm. That's why YouTube restored it. Mm-hmm. So you can probably thank me for that.
Yep.
Ida Rogoza made a super sticker. Thank you, Ida. Ida, thank you. Ida is awesome. Hey, have you heard of this goofy guy called Russell Brand?
I've heard of such things, yes.
I don't want to say that I'm right about things, but I'll just leave it for now. But here is Russell Brand reading presumably a comment from a groiper or something. This is a very strange combination of tattoos. Anyway,
Look at this. I wonder how Russell feels about Christians being constantly persecuted by Israelis in Israel. I don't feel good about anyone being persecuted anywhere by anyone else. I'm against it. You don't need to go
Where's this
Christians in Israel. You could say homosexuals in Saudi Arabia. You could say Muslims in England. It's the principle that matters. Then you don't need the individual labels or flags or words because you have a principle. And that's what it's about, man.
What the heck was that?
So, the only thing here that is close to accurate is that is homosexuals
in
persecuted in Saudi Arabia. Muslims are persecuted in England?
Yeah, because as we've all seen in it, then they just want, because of their religion, to go around banging all the 12-year-old girls, and we're stopping them now, yeah, and that's persecuting them.
And Christians are persecuted in Israel?
Yeah, we've been there. Remember when they wouldn't let me through that Muslim gate? Oh, that was a Muslim gate.
It's so, I mean, look, this guy he's an actor, comedian. I never thought that he was in any way funny or interesting.
No, he's a guy who because of his voice and stuff, he crosses over into the annoying side. So even if he was saying something fun, and I've seen him be seriously funny. I saw him. There's one interview where he gets brought in on some morning show, and there's 3 people, and I saw him just slowly. He's using psychological tech, but he eventually takes it over and he starts doing the reporting. It was totally brilliant. The guy actually has some serious brain power behind all the annoyingness and so on. But yeah, because of his stupid voice and his dumb accent and the stupid way he looks and so on, you put it all together, it's just like, even if he's being funny, he's still being extremely annoying. And so
I think he probably has something about him that is kind of that is charismatic to people. He knows how to talk. He knows how to talk to people. He knows how to do small talk. He knows how to say dumb things and all that. But how does a person like this just decide one day to become religious and then immediately throw themselves at the front to become a political commentator? Like, this is just the thing. Like, there are those who become popular because they are commentators on social matters or political matters, and then there are others who are popular for random dumb stuff, and then they think they are now in a position to I want to comment on what's going on over here. Yeah, it's like, I don't like oppression at all. Yeah, like, what are you talking about? You have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah. And we sadly know what whatever Groyper it was who was bringing this up to him. We know what the Groypers, where they get their information and so on. Fortunately, while we were over there, we actually I did an interview with a Christian, a Messianic Jewish Christian who moved to Israel to tell his fellow Jews about Jesus, the Messiah. He's been there for 20 years. And he said, in 20 years of preaching in Israel, things got physical, not with him, but with his wife. One time he acknowledged that there is
prove that there's persecution.
Yeah, he says there is a sect, but that sect isn't even liked by the regular Jewish population. That's like hyper Orthodox. He said they're like 1% of 1% of the population. And he said those are the guys, if you see a video and you see people spitting in the direction of Christians and so on, he says that's one group. And he says the vast majority of the population is not like that. And he said that when he tells an Israeli Jew why he believes in Jesus, he said most of them are actually interested, not in terms of like converting. They're interested in like, what? Why would you believe in Jesus? And they'll sit there and listen to him. So they generally don't have this reaction of starting to swing at you and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, Russell Brand, don't get your information about how things are in Israel from a bunch of Groyper clowns.
Somebody just said about Brent is my Catholic brother. I hope you're joking or just making things up. I don't believe for a second that. Wait, is did he say that he's Catholic, or was he baptized by Catholics or something? Like, what? How does it even function? That doesn't even work. That doesn't make any sense to me. It looks to me like he is he joined the church of Russell Brand. That's what it sounds like to me. Are you lying to me? Hope you're lying to me. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe for a second that he's Catholic. That doesn't make sense. That don't make sense. He still believes in woo-woo stuff. I don't think that he has been educated into any church properly. So yeah,
we will educate him and humiliate him. Educate and humiliate you.
You see. La, 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 la. Let's look at a few things here. Let's look at this here. Where's this? Let's look at this here. Here.
No.
I recently went on a rampage and started just telling random people to debate me because I was bored. And among those people is one very, very particularly stupid individual.
Wait, hold up. Is that the chick who went to the Groiper festival or whatever, and then she found out they hate women in addition to just hating Jews, and they all started just talking, it's because you're banging everybody while you're here, and they started posting pictures of her daughter and stuff like that. Is that same chick?
No, that's the one with the daughter. That is a different one. But
That's a different one.
Yeah. This one,
okay.
She became famous because she said the N-word.
This chick?
Yes.
No, I think that is the chick.
No, that's a different one. That's a different one. The one you're talking
no,
about.
I'm pretty sure that's the chick, because I remember that chick, because that's why they invited her to this thing, because she blew up because she said the N-word and she was so edgy, and they invited her to this thing, and they all treat her like garbage, and they all start saying that Jake Shields banged her. And then they start posting pictures of her daughter.
I think everything is right until the daughter part. I'm not sure about the daughter part. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. But
this chick started posting videos about how sick they are, posting pictures of her daughter.
Could be true. I don't know. But so Lily here, who became famous by just going on TikTok and saying the N-word, they were like, yeah, you see, this is so brilliant,
so edgy.
Look at her. She
so
said the
edgy,
N-word.
not
so brilliant, so smart.
Not cringe at all.
So she started getting worse and worse and worse, and now says dumb stuff like the Jewish proof that the Holocaust happened is the movie Schindler's List, based on a fictional novel. How ironic! It's like
that's stupid on like 17 different levels there.
Somebody made a comment when I posted about this and said all the Holocaust museums around the world, does she think they all just play the movie Schindler's List? Something.
That's what they do. We've been there. You walk in, it's a movie theater. You have to sit down, and then you watch Schindler's List, and then you're oh, this stuff is true. It must have happened.
She has been community noted, and the post has been limited by X. But the Holocaust is extensively documented through survivor testimonies, Nazi records, and physical evidence from concentration camps. Schindler's List is a dramatization of real events, but it is not the basis for historical proof. Very, very powerful and very, very based. Unfortunately, there is a trend of people becoming famous because they have poop in their brains. And this is one of those instances. It's just very, very sad, man. It's very sad.
Well, it's just funny because she's saying that
the only evidence is the movie Schindler's List, and it's like, I mean, they pointed out there, but
that's a true story, lady. Like, you think everyone just made up that whole story? You can, I mean, Schindler's grave is right there at the Holocaust Memorial in Jerusalem.
Yeah,
he's buried there. They bury them there.
It's got buried, not buried. Here is another case. Jake Shields says, I repeat, the only functioning gas chamber found after World War II was in fact proven to just be the shower. Auschwitz and other gas chambers were reconstructed after the war by the Soviet Union. This is just once again false on multiple different levels. I quote tweeted this guy and said, only the dumbest and sickest people deny the Holocaust. They would never debate
that's
this.
true.
He responded to me and said, nobody.
Wait. He's not going to have another I agree to debate. And then as soon as you start setting it up, he goes real quiet again, is he?
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. He said, nobody believes you. I then quote tweeted him again and said,
again,
I challenge you to debate me about the Holocaust. We all know you won't do it. You backed out of a debate before. Any Holocaust denier would crumble immediately in front of someone who knows the topic. All you people have is willful ignorance and hate. I will humiliate you. And he then responded to it and said, okay, come to Vegas. I guess he thought I would say, no, I don't want to come to Vegas.
Yeah, he thinks everyone's like him. No, I'm not going to travel for a debate.
So I said, okay. And asked James to set it up. I said, can we set up a debate in Vegas? James said, depending on what you guys want for compensation, it is doable. I wouldn't get YouTube revenue and would have to work hard to find a venue willing to host it. I wasn't really thinking of just of having a place full of viewers. It could just be
just two guys and a guy with a computer.
Yeah, that's just all we need. He is right. It would have to, like, the cost that this would incur, he would not get much of it back because he wouldn't be able to monetize this conversation on YouTube and so on.
It's okay, James, we'll crowdfund it.
Yeah, I would be happy to help crowdfund it as well. I said I'm okay with $0 compensation. Jake should be fine with it as well, since it's his place and he asks for me to travel. I messaged him. I asked James if he responded. I followed up on it. Jake Shields disappeared.
Imagine being a lying idiot, but you know you're a lying idiot. And so you have to act like you're not a lying idiot. But then when someone calls you, you basically admit to being a lying idiot and you admit that you know it about yourself. Because that's what he just did, right? Like if he actually thought, there's no evidence that I can prove this. It's just a shower.
He disappeared. Now, here's the thing. I just want to point out one thing, which is that I think that Jake Shields is a complete waste of
human skin,
oxygen, and human skin as well. And I would say that in an ideal world, people like him should get no attention at all, and nobody should take him seriously. And in an ideal world, somebody like me shouldn't sit down and have a conversation with somebody like him at all. Unfortunately, we're not in an ideal world. We are in a world where this guy says dumb stuff like this, and he has 839,000 followers because he got hit in the head, and he makes dumb posts like this and actually gets thousands of people liking his garbage posts, most of which are just completely wrong nonsense. So, and I just want to be there to take advantage of this and to just humiliate not him, I don't care about him, but the narrative that he is pushing. Unfortunately, people like this are scared to engage with people who actually know what they're talking about, which is very, very unfortunate. Very, 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 very unfortunate. But hey, I actually recorded a video about the Holocaust. I'm going to publish it soon, inshallah. Soon meaning within the next 20 years.
Really?
So, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to questions and answers here. So, hey AP, loved your most recent video. By the way, I recommend checking out The Biggest Questions of Existence by Andrew Locke and Christian Sim. It might have the confirmation you need. I don't know who this is. The Biggest Questions of Existence, Andrew Locke. Who is Andrew Locke? David, do you know Andrew Locke?
Mm-mm.
How do you not know Andrew Locke? He's a Singaporean Christian theologian and philosopher. How do you not know this?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
You don't know anything.
I'll check it out. Thank you, Christian Theology and Apologetics. Appreciate it. Ayatollah Khamenei says, I know my neighbor Roy is on the Epstein list. He will be humiliated and dragged off to jail. And will stop complaining about my 24/7 kebab grill. And then there's, of course, the Jeffrey Epstein list garbage that is
Isn't this wild, by the way? You have exactly the same people.
Oh, finally we're getting the Epstein list and we can expose and humiliate these people to show that we condemn sex trafficking.
They'll be the exact same people.
Yay, Andrew Tate is in the U.S. Our hero, Andrew Tate, who's the greatest, who's never done anything wrong.
It is insane. But the Epstein files, this here by Kevin Sorbo actually kind of summarizes it very well. So he tweeted this morning, "The pedos in Hollywood are shaking right about now." And then 8 hours later, so nothing new was released today. So much for government transparency.
The pedos can calm down for a few minutes.
So Hercules himself was saying that they are going to run and they're shaking right now. They're going to be. I don't know what he's thinking anyway. Just I didn't expect for a second that today is going to be a day of big revelations where a bunch of criminals will be exposed. Look, here's the thing. If the Trump administration is so hell-bent on bringing the truth out, and the truth is before their eyes and very accessible, why don't they just publish it? Why go through all this mess? There were reports that some people had been caught trying to get rid of evidence regarding the Epstein files. I don't believe that for a second. Are you freaking kidding me? So there are some people who actually want to sit on the evidence and want to hide it and get rid of it. And they actually waited for the Trump administration to put the right people in place to then start hiding or deleting evidence. Who believes this garbage? I'm sorry. Look, I voted for Donald Trump because the United States gives us two options in the end, between
one person who's been selected for you and another person who's been selected for you, and then you get to decide which of these two people that have been selected for you you're going to vote for. And then you will be convinced that your voting is very powerful and that you control the world.
That's that. I didn't believe for a second that Donald Trump is a hero who wants to reveal the evils out there and that he's actually going to do that. So if you actually think that this government, this administration is going to reveal all the filth and all the corruption, it didn't happen the first time. It's not going to happen now. Keep waiting for it, though. Keep waiting for it. So today the files were released and it was just a bunch of nothing. Pam Bondi, we're releasing the first of the Epstein files tomorrow. Americans cool, then we'll get to read them. Bondi, well, actually you'll get to see fun little photo shoots of conservative personalities and influencers holding a binder.
Yeah, why are we all holding this binder?
We've got the files. We've got the files here. We handed out these collector's binders.
Hee, look at us. We have these binders. Woohoo.
Very, very fancy. They're normally $4.99 at Office Max, but we got a deal on them. We got a deal. We got them for $3.99 each because we bought them in bulk.
There's literally nothing in there that we didn't already know. There's nothing new in there. Nothing at all.
It's just a binder with the Wikipedia article on Epstein in it.
It's so ridiculous, man. What a ridiculous show. And on top of all of it, they finally deleted it. That's good.
What did they delete?
They actually deleted it.
What was it?
They actually deleted the post. The judiciary, House Judiciary of the Republican Party made a post earlier that was just so incredibly bizarre that people couldn't believe what they were seeing. And, oh yeah, right here. No, wait a minute. If I click on it, it is gone. Yeah, they deleted it. They finally deleted it. Here's what actually happened. I'm not sure if you saw this, David. You probably didn't see it.
I did not.
The House Judiciary of the Republican Party official account actually made this post earlier. Breaking Epstein files released. Link. If you click on the link, it goes to Rick Astley music video. Never gonna give you up.
It doesn't. That makes it funny. That'd be funny.
They actually did that.
Wait, they did that?
Yes.
No way. That'd be too funny. I mean,
I'm
if
serious.
it's
They
funny,
actually did it.
it's
They
seriously funny if they did that.
No, and everyone was like, "What is wrong with you people? Take this down immediately. Do you think this is a freaking joke?" And it was up here for a
It's
few
pretty
hours.
funny, though.
They deleted it. But they actually posted breaking Epstein
That's
files
pretty funny.
released, and they posted the link to "Never Gonna Give You Up." They rickrolled everybody with this. Like
The
what?
original Rickroll. They got Rickrolled. They got the
Community
government
note
Rickrolling
says
people. That's
the
funny.
link provided does not contain the Epstein files. The link plays a Rick Astley music video instead.
Why you ruining the joke?
So,
community notes. That's too far. Ruining jokes.
They deleted it anyway. But it is a little bit messed up that the actual official account here, while everyone is waiting for the Epstein files, actually posts a joke about it. That's
Dude, you're German and Turkish. You are the wrong person to be commenting on what a correct joke is.
It's so messed up, man. It's so messed up. Very, very bigly messed up. Bigly messed up. All right, let me go through a few super chats and then we can continue with looking at our favorite heroes. Sean Ferris. DeSantis said Tate isn't welcome in Florida. Hopefully Team Trump takes notice. I hope you enjoyed the gifts you received at DebateCon. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Bosch Fawston on the show soon. Pretty please. I shall do that. I shall do that. He messaged me. Bosch Fawston actually drew me in his style as a Muhammad cartoon.
Was it Bigly?
It was Bigly. Thank you so much, Sean. Yes, man. Are you going to watch the Michael Bay Skibidi Toilet movie when it comes out? Definitely, yeah. Definitely. Misha SWB. What's up, Misha SWB? Those three tots in the thumbnail is the Jizya Trinity. Ezra is greater than 3. It's not that hard. Considering all Jews worship the Lord Ezra, Ezra was perfectly preserved at the Council of Nicaea. It's
the book it's the book of the Council of Nicaea.
This is very educational. Correct. Very educational. Thank you so much. Appreciate this. Roddy Piper banned Andrew Tate from the U.S. Okay, well, we're going to do it soon.
You want to call your band Andrew Tate from the U.S.?
Actually, we also had updates about this. There's just so much happening today, man. It's just so much. Who was that? The Attorney General of Florida actually weighed in and gave an update on this and said the following. Attorney General James Uthmeyer says, earlier this morning, I directed my office to work with our state law enforcement partners to conduct a preliminary inquiry into these individuals. Florida has zero tolerance for human trafficking and violence against women. If any of these alleged crimes trigger Florida jurisdiction, we will hold them accountable. So he responded officially to the whole Andrew Tate thing, and now there is a legal inquiry ongoing against Andrew Tata. That's that.
This is by the way, this is an interesting situation because Tate only has basically one method when dealing with the media, and that's to just lie. And that works for a while, but he's in a situation now where every time he lies, it instantly gets exposed by a bunch of people sharing like what he actually said and so on. So it's a funny situation where ordinarily Tate was desperate for media attention, but now it's gonna backfire against him because all he can do in every interview right now is lie. But for everyone who does that, it's gonna massively expose. It's just like when he went on with Benny Johnson and then Alina what's-her-face and so on, and they both got just blasted. They just got blasted by stuff. And then they started getting real quiet and said, well, innocent until proven guilty and stuff like that. And like ignoring like the mountain of evidence that was shown to them. But that's all that's going to happen from now on is, I could get Andrew Tate on my show and I'll get a bunch of views on my show because it's Andrew Tate. And then you just get like completely wrecked.
The funny thing is that Laura Loomer just said that apparently she got in touch with Andrew Tate and invited him on her show or to be interviewed, and apparently he accepted. So
that would be interesting. It also allows you to see people's true colors. Like, is she actually going to call him out for stuff and demand that he respond and make him storm off the show, or just whitewash everything?
Here's the thing. Like, Laura Loomer is an extremely problematic person, no matter who you are. She is very wild, and there are lots of things that she would do and say that I disagree with severely. But she also does extremely good jobs in different regards, and she is very quick to investigate and find evidence about things that others would take lots of time to find. She also gets in trouble frequently because she happens to be a very honest person and very direct person. So she will just say whatever she thinks, and she will just go after people no matter who they are. That's a good thing. Despite me having great problems with her, I would say that she's not somebody who would actually know about Andrew Tate human trafficking and would then be quiet about it. So in other words, she is not a corrupt B word like Candace Owens. I do think that she would hold Andrew Tate accountable and ask questions. And in fact, I also got in touch with her and she asked me to send her things over. So yeah, that's that.
What?
That's true. She follows me, so I thought, hey, I'll just message her, and she responded to me and said send me things over.
Well, you just ruined it. Now no one's gonna.
Yeah.
Now they can't do anything.
Yeah. Apostle of Allah says, AP and David Wood, I like you guys, but
Funny.
Jack Ray, AP, I like you just, but I like your live streams more. Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Me, Trump needs to deport David Wood to Antarctica. I've been saying this forever.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Mad Libs says Tate shouldn't come at AP. He's armed with all the receipts. This is true. This is facts. Ground Ritter says, who says how dare you better? Greta Thunberg or the Islamists? How dare you? How dare you?
Greta. Can't stand her. But I mean, that's a phrase where you need to be as annoying as possible, and she nails it.
Beast. John West, large coffee, 189 BLT 749, sending RSA super chat, priceless.
That's true.
That is very.
It's no joke. You're talking about a guy who's been demonetized for like 15 years and then just randomly gets remonetized finally.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Super base.
That's awesome. Ayatollah Khamenei, historical fact, 90% of Hostas University grads have male BBLs and have cyber flirted with at least one Tate brother. Christian theology and apologetics. You see a button, pressing it destroys Hamas, but it also makes Tate president of the United States. Do you press it? No.
You don't need to. You can destroy Hamas in other ways.
Yeah. I don't even have to think about it. No. I'm sorry, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Even if you told me there's a button and all Muslims leave Islam, but it also makes Andrew Tate president of the US, I would still not press the button. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what it is. I'm not going to press the button. We'll take that button. I don't even want to get near the button. Graham Phidiason says, still innocent until proven guilty, however compelling the evidence. Before the law, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Don't misuse that statement. You've either committed a crime or you haven't, and the evidence is either sufficient to prove that you did it in a court of law or not. So when you say innocent until proven guilty, you mean before the law in the United States of America. That's the presumption, because they don't want to accidentally put an innocent man in prison. That's what that means. It doesn't mean until you've been proven guilty, you didn't do anything. No, you either did it or you didn't do it. And Tate definitely did it. He spent years bragging about it. So he is guilty. It's just, what evidence is there to convict him? There seems to be piles of it. However, there is a corrupt Romanian justice system that is now taking orders from someone in the United States of America. So in theory, he may never be proven guilty in court. That does not mean he's innocent. The man is most definitely, indisputably not innocent. He is guilty as hell. Let's be clear on that.
Very, very strong words here. Very strong words. In fact, let's watch something here. Let's watch something here.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me, to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them.
I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense. Like, I was not trying to have sex with women. I was trying to get women to obey me. And I realized that's easier if they like to have sex with me. If they don't like having sex with me, it's pretty hard to make them listen to me. I don't mention webcam.
Strong language you learned.
Yeah.
Until after I've had sex with the girl. Your bottom bitch, the new girl. You go out for fucking a night.
I was waiting for it to mute it, but whatever.
It can't be helped. Cat's out of the bag. Just play it.
You don't do the 7. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
It says the criminal activities of these defendants are a form of slavery, according to the prosecutor's office, like 19th century U.S. slave owners who branded their slaves with a red iron. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate defendants brand their victims with tattoos indicating that they are the defendant's property. For example, they have tattoos with the message, "Owned by Tate," in English.
So imagine what that does. If you hire, so what he does is he starts building a relationship with a young girl under the impression that all he wants is to just have a love relationship, take care of her, and so on. He specifically seeks out vulnerable, girls that are more likely to be submissive, and so on. If he sees a woman who doesn't have problems, who is strong in it, who is not very likely to just go with everything, he thinks, okay, this one is not good. She's too much of an adult. So he seeks ones that are damaged and harmed, that have serious problems, and then lures them and turns them into sex workers immediately by putting them in front of a camera with another girl whom he groomed already from a young age, and turns them into sex workers and starts making money with them. And he also, during that process, somewhere along the line, tells them or just makes them get tattoos that say Tate or Andrew Tate or owned by Tate or property of Andrew Tate, which makes sure that there is an added very strong element which would prevent them from ever going away. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, so all Andrew Tate did for his little career in webcam porn and in his PhD course, he learned it from someone. He learned it from someone, ladies and gentlemen, but he took the tools of the trade that pimps use. Some pimps rely on beating women and so on. Some pimps rely primarily on what's called the lover boy method. And they have methods for finding vulnerable girls. So there'll be a pimp who'll be in a city. They will know which train stations that runaways go to. So girls run away from home. 15, 16-year-old girls run away from home and they go to the city. Guess what? Pimp's got people watching those train stations for when a random girl shows up and is looking around and looking confused, like, where do I go? And then guess what? They treat her like a princess. Don't worry, girl. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. I'll be your husband, and so on. Gets the girl to fall in love with him and eventually become his prostitute. Andrew Tate took the exact same methods. They modified them because now you're not looking for a girl at a train station to find what a vulnerable girl is, because then the train station, okay, she's a runaway. She's already got problems at home. Perfect girl to manipulate into doing what I want. Tate's method, he just applies it to the internet. How do you find girls online who have troubled relationships with their fathers and so on and can be taken advantage of? What does he do then? He does exactly the same thing pimps do. Get the girl to fall in love with you, ease her into it, make her think that this is what she wants to do the entire time, and the goal is to eventually get her doing porn for you. Guys, that is a form of sex trafficking. That's in the definitions for everyone. That's not sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is only if you lock a girl in a cage and ship her. No, this is how most sex trafficking works. If you get a girl to fall in love with you, you haven't broken any laws. If you get a girl to fall in love with you because that's part of your plan for getting her into sex work, that is illegal. That is human trafficking. That's one of the things that Andrew Tate and his brother have been charged with. Thing is, they taught an entire course on how to do this, and they made an endless supply of videos where they brag about doing it, explaining things step by step. You had the leaks from the website itself where they talk about doing this, and they're actually applying it on specific girls. Hey, there's this girl. How do I do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to break this girl and get her? She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to go on OnlyFans. He's acknowledging all this. And here's how I manipulate her. He's acknowledging it. They got these guys dead to rights. This is indisputable. The only thing is these guys keep dragging their feet because they find more and more information about these guys, and they want one big trial, not 50 smaller trials. So they keep dragging their feet, and it's a problem with the Romanian courts. They keep saying, you can't just keep these guys on house arrest for 20 years while you figure out your stuff. You have to either take them to court or you have to give them some slack. And now you got the U.S. government in there saying, "Hey, you haven't taken them to trial yet. You've had them charged for a long time, but you haven't taken them to court, so you got to give them slack. Otherwise, you just keep people locked up forever or on house arrest forever while you figure out your stuff." So that's the situation. But these guys have acknowledged all of this stuff. They have witnesses to all this stuff. They have their text messages. So guilty, unless these guys were just lying every step of the way and never did any of this stuff, and they made it all up, and they made everything about the girls, and then somehow made up all the videos with the girls and so on. These guys are guilty.
Guilty.
Beautiful women. I f them so they listen to me.
Tate in English.
I have to f her so she obeys me. I don't give a shit about having beautiful women. I f them so they listen to me, so I can get what I actually want, which is not them. It's a means to an end. Every single Bond girl was exploited. That's exactly what I do. When I watch a Bond film and I see him basically pimp a bitch, to me that speaks to my heart. I've been there. I've done that. Anyone who's followed me long enough knows that I first made my $1 million with a webcam business. I have met beautiful women with a good personality and thought, shit.
Wait, is that Vivian?
I don't want to.
Is that Vivian? Was she the one that was like 15 when he started with her?
Yes, in fact, he talks about it right here. Look.
So Vivian's been with me 6 years. She's completely head over heels in love with me. She wants kids with me, everything. And we met and we fell, whatever, we're in love. When I bring on new girls, I usually pair them with Vivian. Because Vivian's younger. Melissa's like 28. Vivian's like 21. Vivian's younger. She's more fun, more outgoing.
So Vivian is has been with him, according to his own statement here, since she was 15 years old. There are other statements where she herself gives her age, which corresponds to 14 years old, so where she was apparently with Andrew Tate since she was 14 years old. But so it is 14 or 15 years old that she got together with Andrew Tate, and he started grooming her. This is a crime under every single jurisdiction.
Hold on. AP. So he's messing around with this girl when she's 14, 15, setting her up to be one of his future girls and so on, and using her as his bottom bee to groom other girls and so on. So you're talking 14, 15-year-old girl. So could we say that all the Tate fans who go, Jeffrey Epstein, him a bad guy, him take teenage girls and recruit them and groom them to do his bidding. But Andrew Tate, him good, him strong, him do nothing wrong. These are the biggest bunch of hypocrites the world has ever seen.
Yes.
Vivian's younger. She's more fun, more outgoing. I built my business off the back of my dick. That's how I built it. That's how I got rich. So I became militant with the pimping. And my bottom bitch understood it, and she understood that perfectly. So that is the recruitment structure, and that is extremely important. I hope you understand why you have to have sex with a girl. Otherwise, she is going to leave. What you don't want to do is get a bunch of girls, teach them how to make money from home, and then leave you and run off and make money for themselves. And then you check their Instagrams, and they're having a great life, and they're fucking rich, and you have nothing. You don't want to do that. So you have to fuck the girl.
So you have to have her. You can't just teach her things and have her go her own way and make money on her own. You have to keep her. You have to have sex with her. You have to use her to get rich off of her. And here is Vivian, that he groomed since she was 14 or 15 years old. This is one of the most disturbing things I've seen so far.
That's the reasoning behind like why some girls don't like it, because they're scared they're gonna die. I've actually seen some guys accidentally, how funny is that? Accidentally kill their girlfriends during the sex because they were choking them that hard.
That is a messed up girl. And AP, remind me, who's she been with this entire time?
Andrew Tate.
So this is one of Andrew Tate's girls. She's with Andrew Tate all these years. She's his bottom B. And we know Andrew likes to choke and so on. And here she is saying she's actually seen guys kill their girlfriends during sex by choking them too hard. You choke them and then they're dead. And then so you dispose of the body and pretend you don't know what happened. So which crowd can we suspect that she's with when these girls are being choked to death?
Andrew Tate's.
What, you mean our hero? Our hero, Andrew Tate, the great guy who's apparently at least involved with some guys who are choking girls to death.
Yes. And you know what the funny thing about this is?
I don't find this funny.
She's not telling on Andrew Tate here. She's just reporting things that she thinks are funny or interesting or whatever.
She's messed up.
She's still on Andrew Tate's side. When asked if she is a victim, she says, "I'm not a victim. I'm happy. Andrew Tate is he treated me so nice, so well, so good. He's such a good guy. Don't believe anything people say about him. He's the best in the world. He loves me," and so on. Which is why the prosecution treats her as a victim without her consent, because that's how it works. That's if you start grooming a girl from a young age into sex trafficking, she is a victim whether she agrees with it or not. That's what it is. She doesn't she's manipulated and damaged beyond help at this point. And you can see it right here. She just casually says that she witnessed guys just accidentally kill their girlfriends, choking them too hard, and then she just continues bopping her head to the music. It's
and by the way, guys, that's why you get the girls while they're young. You can actually raise and condition them to think that all this is completely normal and they don't understand any problem. Like, yeah, I know girls they've been choked to death by their boyfriends. Oopsie, nothing wrong here.
Yeah, he also has a history of beating her brutally to punish her, but she thinks it's okay. It's just I just don't if I misbehave. Well, that's when he beats me. But whatever.
That's the reasoning behind like why some girls don't like it, because they're scared they're gonna die. I've actually seen some guys accidentally, how funny is that? Accidentally kill their girlfriends during the sex because they were choking them that hard.
Now I need her to quit her job, leave her house, move in with me, work on webcam, do as I say, share me with other women, and give me her money. That's the hard part.
If you're interested in my website, CobraTape.com, I have the PhD course, which teaches you everything I know about women, everything I learned about girls in running my webcam industry. I've had over 75 girls work for me in webcam, and they gave me all their money. So I obviously know something. I think I have another thing that people find interesting about me is how it's not that I just get females. How do I get females to comply? How do I get females to work for me for free and give me all the money?
Hey.
Hello, to work for him for free and give him all the money. He's a pimp. He knows what he's doing. And yeah. And finally, I also added this clip here to it, finally, of Eleanor Horber, who encounters him and goes, "Hey."
Hi.
Hello, Alina.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
She's a big fan. And why did I add this to the end? With her looking like she wants to give him,
I'm Lily J.
like she wants to give him sexual pleasure, and him too. So wasn't it Benny Johnson? Benny Johnson's even more into it. He's even more like, she's like, oh, I love this guy. I want to please him on my knees. And Benny Johnson's like, oh, you get out the way me first. I want to do it first. Two simps for Andrew.
He
Tate.
does act like that.
And but the bad thing about her, Alina Horba, is that she is actually Donald Trump's legal counsel, appointed directly by Donald Trump. She's a big fan of Andrew Tate. She's probably in on the whole process of trying to help him. Unfortunately, this is what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the world is a sick place.
Pretty rough.
Tate's violated the federal Protect Act law. This is true. It says that any content uploaded online of, I think, sexual material or anything else has to be done with the consent of the people depicted. He violated that. We have records of it, of them blackmailing and posting stuff from the women that they have online to force them to stay with them and to obey them and to humiliate them and so on. Mosh Cohen, LOL, he can go to the UK, they'll probably drop it. Yeah, I would say that I'm not really scared of I wouldn't be too scared of the UK if I was Andrew Tate. I'll probably go there laughingly, considering that the UK is a half Islamic state. So it's like the capital city is ruled by Muslims, and the rest is just ruled by complete morons that are just a joke.
Yeah, all he has to do is go there and say, "I'm a Muslim now," and they'll let him go.
Are you a Muslim?
And persecuting me is Islamophobic, and I'll call you an Islamophobe. Oh, okay. Let's just make you the new prime minister, isn't it?
Yeah, Ayatollah Khamenei, imagine my shock when we find out Kash Patel is behind the Tate's arrival. I don't even want to imagine that, man.
I hope they actually find out, like, who pulled some strings, because I'd like to know.
That would be very funny. That would be very, very fun. You know what I think? I think if Andrew Tate actually went to London and ran for mayor, he would probably win. He'll probably win against Sadiq Khan. He'll probably be the mayor of London. Devin Klassen, I think he did, but until he's convicted, he's not a trafficker. Yes, he is.
Bull, dude, if I murder someone right now, I am a murderer. It does not matter if I get convicted. Me being convicted is not what defines me as a murderer. What defines me as a murderer is if I murder someone. Once I have murdered someone, I am a murderer. Even if I get away with it my entire life, even if the courts never find out about it, right? Like, I mean, do you imagine when they catch like a serial killer, they say, "Hey, we caught a serial killer." Are you the guy who's going, "Not a serial killer until you're convicted"? But dude, I killed 30 people. Well, so what? Ain't been convicted yet. That means you're not a serial killer. A serial killer is someone who has killed a bunch of people, right? So I don't know where are you guys getting this? Are you saying if someone murders someone, goes his entire life, never gets caught, dies and you're saying he was never a murderer? Do you not understand how insane and stupid that is? You're not a convicted murderer. You're a convicted murderer if you are convicted of murder. If you murder someone and you haven't been convicted, you're not a convicted murderer, but you're still a murderer. Likewise, if you are a human trafficker who never gets caught, you are still a human trafficker, whether or not you get caught.
So here's the thing, Devin. Look, there is a big misunderstanding of the whole system of innocent until proven guilty. The concept of innocent until proven guilty exists for one very simple reason, which is that in some cases, the law could be used to unjustly prosecute and convict people who haven't actually done anything wrong, or to punish them before giving them the means to properly defend themselves and explain themselves without presenting evidence and so on. In order to prevent laws being misused against different people, the system of innocent until proven guilty was brought into existence. This is only to prevent the law from being misused by malicious people. It does not mean that the people in question are actually innocent, like literally innocent. It just means they are innocent.
It's a legal presumption.
Law. So they are innocent, they are protected from being punished. That's what it means. That's what innocent until proven guilty means. It does not mean they are actually innocent.
Does not mean you are actually innocent at all.
If I go and publicly live stream myself shooting, murdering a bunch of people, and everybody knows that I did it because everybody has seen it, I am still innocent until proven guilty. I still have to go through the legal process. That does not mean that I'm not guilty. It does not mean that I'm not a mass murderer. Got to get that right. Okay. Grauenritter says, one issue with Trump is he doesn't check if you say you support him. The main reason he is anti-Ukraine is because he believes they helped impeach him. That is the problem with Donald Trump. Donald Trump serves Donald Trump. That's what it is, unfortunately.
It's a personality type that defines good or bad by loyalty.
Powerful. Powerful.
Things like that.
Crazy Normie YT says Donald Trump had some really rotten people within his circles who could end up hurting him a lot politically. Unfortunately, he likes to have a transactional relationship with people. Oh, you help me, I'll help you. You supported me, well, I'll support you. You help me, I'll give you a job. I'll make you part of my administration. I don't care who you are and what you are. I'll make you part of the administration as long as you help me. That's what he does. That's what he does. E4 Mafia, have you seen the Trump Gaza Resort promo? Please pull it up. I already played it. Not sure if it came in time there, but Boomer just tagged AP in a Crane murders post where the Tates were interviewed after landing this morning. They claim again that their case has been dismissed. I know. Let's see. I actually had that here somewhere. Oh yeah, right here.
It's pretty insane that they like the level of
his case has been dismissed thousands of times by now. Thousands of times. So Andrew Tate landed on U.S. soil and immediately started lying to the media. His case was not dismissed. Both Tates are still under judicial control for that case and have been ordered to return to Romania by March 25th. If you want actual facts about the Tates, follow Murdered by Cranes, the best account that documents everything and has all the receipts. But here, let's have it.
We live in a democratic society where it's innocent until proven guilty, and I think my brother and I are largely misunderstood. There's a lot of opinions about us, a lot of things that go around about us on the internet. We've yet to be convicted of any crime in our lives ever. We have no criminal record anywhere on the planet ever. Our case was dismissed on the 19th of December in Romania under the Biden administration. And our prosecutor recently decided, because we have no active indictment in court, to let us go and return. This is a democratic society.
That is false. He says there is no indicted
in court to let us go and return. This prosecutor recently decided, because we have no active indictment in court, to let us go.
We have no active indictment in court. This is false. So both Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate are still charged. They are still indicted. The case has not been dropped, and they have been ordered to return once they are done with their travel by the end of the next month. So he's once again lying, and he has so far dozens of times claimed the case has been dismissed. It has never been dismissed. In fact, there is another investigation ongoing right now.
It's just weird. It's like you don't need to lie about any of this, right? Like he could say basically the same thing and just say their case is so weak they keep postponing taking me to actually going through with the trial because they know their case is weak, or something like that. Something where it's not just a 5-second fact check proves that you're lying. You know what I mean? But he always goes with the thing that can be completely refuted with a 5-second fact check. It's weird. That is someone who knows his audience and knows they mindlessly accept any nonsense
I think the response of the Romanian prosecution is even public. That this is only temporary travel and that they are ordered to return. So him going out and saying case has been dismissed is just it directly contradicts with what the prosecution put out there. It's so stupid, man.
Pretty dumb.
Pretty stupid. MT AP check most recent post in your YT community. I shall check.
Yeah, or else.
I shall check. I shall check. I shall check. I don't see anything. Oh, you mean the posts by the community? I don't know what happened to them, man. They should appear here. I think I deactivated them temporarily and now they're all gone or something. Gotta check that. I gotta check that later. Easy peasy. Jay Dyer seems pro-Russian. Watched the video where he said Ukraine has always belonged to Russia. I seriously don't know what to make of him anymore. I need your take on this. He is deep into deep state stuff. Well, Jay Dyer and I have made major disagreements. I don't know what exactly he said, but there was one part of it which is technically correct, which is that Russia had control over Ukraine for most of its life.
EP agrees with Jay Dyer and says that Putin should take back Ukraine because
So
it
if he wants
rightfully
to-
belongs to him.
So if he points that out, that is not necessarily anything of dispute. But
This is a proof.
But if he actually claims it is Russia, if he actually goes with the Putin narrative, that is just completely false, that Ukrainians are actually Russians and everything belongs to Mother Russia, then that would be, of course, wrong. But yeah.
Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta grab some stuff before it's too late.
Powerful. Okay. Crazy Normie says, I'm a lib, but the 2SS is so dead. This is true. The two-state solution is dead. It is dead. Vyativisto Trump must turn Gaza into a Mediterranean-themed golf course luxury resort, and only true Trump loyalists are to be allowed to return. This is true. I agree with that. Jax says, just imagine David being captured by Hamas. They ask, what do you have to say for yourself? And David replies, you're gay. I'm gonna keep this here. Rebecca, that Al-Gaza video is psychological warfare. Margaret Jihad. What's up, Rebecca? How you doing? Sankey, can't believe redacted were on Epstein's list. I know. I was kind of shocked by myself when I saw that, especially the part where redacted is like it is so redacted. It's insane, man. Crazy stuff. General Allahu Akbar, all ham to Ellen, inshallah. Sarah says, now that you have deeply devout Ortho Bro AP, now that you're a deeply devout Ortho Bro AP, will you be fasting for all of Lent, or do you still have Ramadan trauma? I do have Ramadan trauma. I do have Ramadan trauma. I do. Yes. I know you're joking, but I'm still at this point not an ortho. So just watching how things are going. Bible believing. Have you seen the demon with bowl statue in London? No, I haven't. What is that? What is that? What the hell is this? What the hell is it supposed to represent? I don't even understand. I don't get it. What the hell is this? I don't know. I don't know what that is about. Ayatollah Khamenei, Russell Brand was the oil master at the Diddy parties. I will believe that any day. Alphonse, good evening to the Dizzle himself. I'll keep this for when the Dizzle is here. LOL, new Pope in 10 minutes, fellas. Get ready. What? But what is the Pope doing? Is the Pope still alive? Pope Francis. I don't have beef with the Pope. Okay, I don't have beef with Pope Francis. Pope Francis' medical condition continues to improve, Vatican says. Health shows slight improvement. Condition continues to improve as he receives oxygen therapy. Okay, If you're joking about something else, I didn't get the joke. But he's still alive. Yeah, that's good. Skmat says, actually, Brand had a surprisingly good chat with Jordan Peterson. I heard that his chat with Jordan Peterson was okay-ish. I personally haven't watched it because I'm not interested in Russell Brand, but Ari Wasserman, you wasted all your donors' money on some computer when you could have bought a Tate top. What's a Tate top? For a bargain of $22 billion and a 15-year-old girls and AI do your work for you. You're weak, gay, and part of the Matrix. Nice. Johnny the Gringo 88 says the Tates sued and defamed an American Jane Doe who was rescued from their compound. The NCOSE is now representing the woman in a countersuit. I saw that. The biggest negative is that victims now have to deal with Andrew Tate being in America. But I hope he goes back and he goes to prison forever. I hope so. Bill Galactica. AP's Cagney sort of Engerlund's impression is spot on. You'd not be out of place there. Really? I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Fatwad. AP looks like a Turkish L Londoner too. This is true. Giovanni Garcia. Human skin is such a psycho thing to respond with and oddly specific. I know this is just David for you, right? OJ Nafta. Can you cover 70 Christians beheaded by Islamists? I shall. We might cover that tomorrow, actually. Ayatollah Khamenei, Kevin Sour-boned Emirate QAnon. I never really liked the guy, and I know that some people like him because he toots their thing, but I don't know, whatever. He seems a little bit paranoid and sick. Vincent Khatibi, can you explain the contradiction in 262 and 385? I'm going to save this for a second. I just want to run through things without David being here and responding to everything with 2-hour responses. Apostate Gaming. Hey, what's up, Apostate Gaming? This should be my channel, man. I think it was stupid for people to think there was anything substantially left, like the Epstein files are kept next to the Ark of the Covenant, like in Indiana Jones. This is true. Very, very much. Sarah F. The charges they were never charged with have been dropped. So the Tate flew to US from Romania where they were to avoid jail by paying the corrupt government off, which they never deserved to begin with. Pretty much. Comic Nut 464. Thank you, Comic Nut 64. Don't worry, I have tweeted Tate that I want to box him multiple times because I think he's a scumbag with a weak chin. Ken Shields too. Mojab is Chomo. Him too. Can you moderate also David Wood for the win? I shall. Thank you. Thank you. ASNet, Mossab for Doge Vivek replacement, inshallah. GoTub, so glad you got your computer, AP. You can finally play 2 Final Aqsa competitive mode. Drew Traver, how ironic that the Tate bros can come to the US, but David Wood can't go to the UK. This is true. Misha SWB, Lily Jizya, civilizing us with her own independent thesis on halal meat during fast, boasting Ramadan Jihadan. Totally her own thoughts, you see. She started making some really dumb posts, posting about the miracles of Islam. So ridiculous. Comic Nut, instead of can, it was meant to be and autocorrected to can. I think I figured that out. Don Armando Robles says, today is Dominican Independence Day. We the only flag with a Bible. Really? Dominican flag. Are you kidding me? Seriously? It has a Bible on it? Wait a minute. I want to check that out. That's interesting. I had no idea. I can't even tell if this is a Bible or not, but it probably is. Probably is. Let's see. Let's go near it and have a look at it. The funny thing is I could probably just look at the information on this and figure out if it is indeed or not, but it pretty much looks like it. That is interesting. I had no idea. Dominican flag. As described by Article 21 of the Dominican Constitution, the flag features a centered white St. George's cross that extends to the edges and divides the flag into 4 rectangles. The top ones are blue, red and blue. The national coat of arms featuring a shield with the flag design and supported by a bay, laurel branch, and palm is at the center of the cross. Above the shield, blue ribbon. I don't care, man. I wanted to know about the book. In the center of the shield, ranked by 3 spears, 2 of them holding Dominican banners on each side, is a Bible with a small Latin cross above it, and said to be open to the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 32, which reads, "Y la verdad os hará libres, and the truth shall make you free." It is one of 28 national flags to contain overtly Christian symbols. This is very cool. I had no idea. It is totally based. I can't even zoom further in. I want to zoom further in here. La 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 la. Let's see. Where did Trump go? I mean David Wood, which is basically the same thing. I want to download the high resolution form of this and look at this even closer. This is how I want to spend my time from now on. Let's see. Let us see. Original, open in media viewer. Download this. This is taking too much of my time right now. Okay, whatever. I don't even have the programs because I just got a new computer. Watch TV7 Israeli news. No. Can you explain how ironic that the Tate bros can come to the U.S.? Yes. Today is Dominican Independence. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to the Dominican Republic. Grumpy Granny shared. Thank you. Thank you, Grumpy Granny. OV looks like X is shadow banning the Tate hate. Is it only me? Everyone with a binder gets way more views and likes. I'm not sure if that's true. Andrew Tate is a worker of Satan, hindering the salvation of many. Jesus hears too and can save them. Can save anyone who sold their soul to Satan as superior. Alhamdulillah. Skmat says the reality versus legality. Exactly. William Stegall, leather straps of the anus. If Momo were a YouTuber, he would be a prostate prophet. No doubt, and we're proud of that. Andrew Tate is a worker. Thank you so much. I think Viv is traumatized. She's shaking in vid. She's indoctrinated, needs help to get out, and big psychotherapy. These people take years to save and slave. Slave and save. That is very much true. Chad Farrell, sorry off topic, but you guys should do an interview with that Pastor Terry Jones, who had that Burn the Quran Day back in 2011. What happened to that guy? Whatever happened to that guy? The guy's dead, man. The guy's dead. No, he's not dead. Wait a minute. He's not dead. He's still alive. He's still alive and still kicking it. I don't know what he's doing. David probably knows. David probably has met him in person. Romology, have you seen the public school in Western Sydney that was chanting Allahu Akbar? It's so sick and horrifying. I saw something. I have to check that out. Western societies. Bill Galactic, on a serious note, do you and David Wood prefer YouTube membership support or Patreon? I think it doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. Although I like to see the members here on YouTube directly. It's like more of the share of what you pay goes to YouTube. Patreon takes much less for themselves. But whatever you prefer. Empty. In your community, I posted Andrew Tate portrait. I'll check it out. I have no idea what a Tate top is, but I haven't been convicted of not knowing what a Tate top is, so I'm innocent. Stop persecuting strong men, bro. The person most whitewashed in history is Muhammad by day. Nice. 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 Well played. Well done. Quran 262. Let's see. Let's look at that. Quran 262 and Quran 385. David is still not back. I think he has been abducted by jihadists. Indeed, the believers, Jews, Christians, and Sabians, whoever truly believes in Allah in the last day and does goodwill, have their reward with their Lord, and there will be no fear of them, nor will they grieve. Whereas Quran chapter 385 says, whoever seeks a way other than Islam, it will never be accepted from them, and in the hereafter they will be among the losers. Okay, so the contradiction here is explained very simply. In one verse, indeed the disbelievers, Jews, Christians, and Sabians, there's much discussion about who these are actually, but they according to many accounts, they most likely followed some pagan beliefs or some monotheistic beliefs or dualistic beliefs, and also had the Shahada and things like that. Some claim to be the Sabians, like the Mandaeans, which are a dualistic Gnostic group. But so the Jews, Christians, and Sabians, whoever believes in Allah in the last day and does good, will have their reward with their Lord, and there will be no fear for them, nor will they grieve. So this is one stance of the Quran before the Jews and Christians become too rejecting of Islam, of Muhammad's message, where Islam still wants to cozy up to them and still promise them heaven, and still be like, hey, we're all just friends, bro, we're same religion and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But as Islam has more and more experiences with Jews and Christians, and as the Jews and Christians reject Muhammad and say, you're a joke, you were not sent by the same God, he starts getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And so, chronologically speaking, by the end of the Quran's revelations in chapter 9, which is the last chapter that is chronologically revealed by Allah to Muhammad, the Quran has already gotten completely rejecting and completely hostile toward Jews and Christians, and says that they have to be fought and subjugated, and whoever is a Jew and Christian and who doesn't convert to Islam, they will go to hell forever. So this is why the Quran contradicts itself, because the Quran is just Muhammad going along and doing things, trying to act like he's friends with Jews and Christians and has the same religion. Then he figures out they don't actually like him, they don't actually want him, so he becomes hostile to them. That's it. The Quran is just a joke. David, what took you so long, man? I thought you were kidnapped by Andrew Tate. You're muted.
Sorry about that. I was trying to take a COVID test. I'm supposed to go see my grandmother, and I've had this cold for since we were in Newark. So anyway, I was trying to take a COVID test just to make sure I don't infect my grandma with COVID. But then it said, by the time we went through all the instructions and did the test, it said, got to wait 20 minutes. So then I came back up.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'll find out when we're done.
Oh, why would you take a COVID test? It's just the flu. It's just a cold. It doesn't do anything at all. You have been fooled by the Chinese World Health Organization.
It's something that is still dangerous for very old people.
It is. It is. And lots of people died. So are you saying that the book was man-made? That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. Actually, I'm not sure about the man part because it was made by
a goat,
by goats or something, you know,
or goat demons.
I'm not sure if I can describe them as man, but yes, man-made. Stefan Milevich, can you please tell us the specs of your new PC?
Yeah, you better have got something tricked out and not something crappy.
I got something brutal, man. I paid like $7,000 or something for it.
That's decent. It's decent. Although I have to say, my Mac Studio would eat your little PC for breakfast.
That's the most money I've ever spent on anything.
Really, that's pretty. I normally get the most. It's the one luxury I insist upon. Everything else I have is crap, but I try to get the most tricked out computer every several years.
I figured after doing this whole thing, editing and streaming and so on, that apparently the things that we do are very taxing on a computer system.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we burn them up. We have to get good stuff.
But wasn't this easier? I thought in the past on Windows 10 you could just go in your system about section and it would tell you everything. It doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah,
it's the first time of me using Windows 11. It's just weird.
That's the other thing. They make things more needlessly complicated as time goes on, rather than actually simpler.
Windows 11 has been out for years now, and I've never used it. This is the first time that I'm using it, so just dealing with it right now. It is a very good one. It has a 64 gigabyte RAM with a very based processor, Intel Core Ultra 9 285K. I have a GeForce 5080 graphic card, and so on. It is totally based. It's a solid machine. Yeah, I didn't get the 5090 because first off, I thought it looks extremely unnecessarily expensive, and secondly, if I wanted to order one with a 5090, I would have to wait for like 2 months or something for delivery. And I thought, I don't care that much about a graphics card, so I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, that's normally the thing I don't care about. Like when you're looking at options, I want a massive hard drive and really fast processors and so on.
Powerful. It is totally based. Christine Live, what's up, Christine Live? The rosary will help you find what you're looking for. God bless you, AP. I have a lifetime of miracles attributed to the faithful recitation of Our Lady's weapon. Do some research on Padre Pio, a priest who had the stigmata and said up to 33 rosaries a day. I know a little bit about Padre Pio, who I just remember his face. There's this very old-looking photo. Or painting, photo, whatever. The thing is, I don't know. The funny secret about me is, and now this is where I'm going to lose all the atheists and anti-religion people, and also hardcore anti-traditional Christianity people. But I have actually been practicing the rosary for like more than a month now, and it is very cool. It's very nice, and I think it is actually actively transforming my daily life on a very good way, and I love it. That together with different things, I don't know. I take great joy in doing that, which is why I'm also always carrying one. So that's that. Still figuring things out, inshallah. And I'm still not calling myself anything right now. Although I think I'm going to join a church soon, very, very soon. I think so. And once I do it, I will announce it. Once I do it, I will. The funny thing is, for many people might remember that there was a time not too long ago where I was experimenting with, where I was exploring Judaism, and I was actually kind of at some point thinking, I think I might convert to Judaism. It was a very funny time.
No, you just wanted to like control the media and stuff.
Well, that was the primary reason. But still, aside from that,
you found out if you convert to Judaism, they give you your own bank.
Yeah,
control.
Yeah, but so one thing that was kind of disappointing was like when I was experimenting with it, and then I found out that they don't actually, like, the whole weather control thing is not really a thing, and I thought, then what's the point? What's the freaking point? So that's kind of what threw me off a little bit with Judaism. I still have lots of respect for it, still study it, still like it, and I'm very, very glad that I actually went there myself to study it instead of trusting dummies online. Like here's MG saying Talmud said the same things the Quran says. No, it doesn't, and you also don't know what the Talmud is.
But I saw like 17 memes from Nick Fuentes. You can't tell me I don't know. This is the proof. This is how research is done.
I have to say, I don't any longer feel a need to get closer to Judaism, but I have much respect for it. And anything you say about the Talmud is the vast majority of it is complete nonsense. It is not a it is not a bad book at all. It's not even a book. It's a library.
And you haven't seen the quotations from Libra David number 67.
And there are, if you want to get very, very down to the detail of it, there are Jewish traditions and texts that are hostile toward others and also toward Christians. However, or Christian beliefs. However, at the same time, these were written or emerged at times where Christians had the very same thing about Jews. It's like while Jews and Christians are separating from each other, both sides are writing nasty stuff about each other. So you could now come and say, you see, the Talmud says some things that we don't agree with, therefore Jews evil. The Jews could do the same thing about you if they also wanted to go back and look at all the things.
But it's okay when we do it.
That your primary church fathers have
Stop
said.
being a hypocrite.
Saint John Chrysostom. Saint John Chrysostom. He's like dearly, very, very highly valued among Orthodox Christians, and
you better not be talking trash about Saint John.
And also among Catholic Christians, especially among Orthodox. The guy said horrible, absolutely horrible things about Jews.
Horrible to you,
according to horrible things about Jews and Judaism. But people usually consider it within the context of the time and the teachings that he was confronted with. But if Jews wanted to act like this, they could also go back and post quotes from early church fathers like Saint Chrysostom every day and say, this is what Christianity is. I don't see any Jew doing this. I only see people talking about the Talmud all the time. It's so stupid. There's no need to do this. No need to do this at all. It's ridiculous. You know, the funny thing is that what? Go ahead.
No. So that article just came out yesterday in the New York Times about how the decline of Christianity has actually slowed and then leveled off over the past couple of years. But they were talking about a Pew Research study, and I was like, I don't trust the New York Times to talk about data, so let me download the real one so I can read it later tonight. Wanted to read the actual study. It's freaking 392 pages. Why would you do that? Seriously, Pew Research, why would you do that? Why would you say, "Oh yeah, here's our study," and it's like you could it's an entire book. It's an entire book. Anyway, sorry about that. It freaking enrages me.
And MG says they live by the Talmud. Come on. First off, the vast majority of Jews have never opened or even looked at a Talmud.
But Nick Fuentes says that they're all reading the Talmud and controlling the banks and deciding to kill you.
The vast majority of Jews have never opened or looked at a Talmud passage, or they might be familiar with some quotes, but it's not the same level as the Torah or the Bible in Christianity or the Quran in Islam. It's not at all. It is a huge library that you would have to study for many years. The majority of what is nowadays called the Talmud is actually commentary on the Talmud. The Talmud itself consists of the Mishnah and the Gemara, which are two texts that are old and that form the minority of what people refer to as the Talmud. And most Jews have not even read that. The only people who read through it are those who study it or who become rabbis or who want to become students of Judaism, or who are part of certain ultra-religious traditions within Judaism. Plus, what they do with the Talmud is also not, this is what the Talmud says, therefore we obey this. That's not what the Talmud is. The Talmud is how to interpret and understand and teach the Torah. That's what the Talmud is. The majority of what is in there nowadays is commentary. And rabbis read it in a library or get references from it. Nobody follows it or lives by it as a book, as their ultimate scripture. This is not how the Talmud works. That's not how it goes at all. It's ridiculous. That is not how it is. So I would highly urge you to study and understand the topic instead of repeating the propaganda about it. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. Misha SWB said AP is being neo-Nazi phobic. This is true, and I need to stop doing that, man. But hey, Christina Live, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate your thoughts on the rosary. The rosary is totally based, and I love it. And it has brought me closer to believing in something and to having hope and all that. Arctic based.
But AP, what would Mr. Dawkins say?
This is kind of the one I'm afraid of. I'm kind of afraid of the judgments by the Holy Prophet Dr. Dawkins. Daryl, wait a minute, there were some super chats here for you. Just imagine David being captured by Hamas, and then they ask, "What do you have to say for yourself?" And David replies, "You're gay."
Mm-hmm. And they would reply, "Of course we're gay. Why do you think we love going down into those tunnels? What do you think we do down there all the time?"
Good evening to the Dizzle himself, said Alphonse.
Hello.
Ali Wasan Mohammed indeed was white. White?
Extremely white.
Sure. Stefan
Extremely
Milojevic,
white.
can you please tell us the specs? I already did. Not very much, but a little bit. Vincent Katibi, religion, sorry, or does Allah not know everything? No, Allah doesn't know everything. Allah is dumb. Daryl, remember that God is a snob at least 90,000 years of ignoring mankind's miserable existence and then showing up only a couple thousand years ago with righteousness, genocide, and sacrifice to improve things. What genocide? What genocide, man?
But I've been taught to scream genocide whenever I don't like anything because I've never had an original thought my entire life.
But thank you for the super chat, Daryl. You're very, you're not gullible at all.
Thank you. Appreciate this, Daryl. Appreciate this. Appreciate this very, very, very much. Appreciate this very much. Shane Johnson, Catholicism is not much different than Islam. What are you talking about? What
it's all the same thing.
What in hell are you talking about?
It's the same thing. Anything
I
I don't like, I just say it's the same as Islam.
Notice I do it with everything, right?
You don't like Islam. The Talmud is just like Islam. Oh, you like Catholicism? Did you know that Catholicism is the same as Islam? Oh,
this is
you like Burger King? Did you know that Burger King is just like Islam? See how easy it is to say?
This is such a lack of logical thinking, and it's like, why do you do this? Why do you do this?
Because it's easy, and it makes me not have to think about anything. I can just say things.
I think communism is garbage, but I couldn't even say that communism is like us.
It's the same thing.
It's lazy. Oh yeah, they're right there. Thank you. Exactly what I was just thinking here was workshop. Lazy. I was thinking lazy thinking, but yeah, lazy logic. It's exactly that. It's not a proper way to look at things. What in the world does Catholicism have in common with Islam? Nothing at all. What are you talking about? Corruption, really? There's corruption in government. Does that mean that governments are just like Islam? There's corruption in the...
Yes, it's the same thing if there's corruption. Did you know there was corruption at my local school? This means that my local school is just like Islam. How dare you question my logic? It's airtight.
I'm not even a Catholic. I'm just... It's just, I mean, you could have criticisms of Catholicism.
If you were Catholic, you would be Muslim.
You could have criticisms of Catholicism. Like, one thing that I struggle with when I think about Catholicism is the authority of the Pope, the supreme authority of the Pope.
The Pope is just like Islam,
and the things it implies. But to go that far and say it's just like Islam, that's a little bit ridiculous. That's a little bit ridiculous.
But it's so easy to do. It requires no thought whatsoever. You can just say it.
It's like, oh, look, I don't like coffee. Did you know coffee is just like Islam?
This is the proof.
This coffee is bitter. Islam is bitter. You see, this coffee is just like Islam.
Did you know the Ottomans actually introduced coffee to Europeans? You see, it's because it's Islam.
Padre Pio is actually Shia LaBeouf. This is true. I'm not sure why you're saying that, but Soldier of Christ, month of Ramadan, month of Lent, month of Ramadan, puking in month of Lent, hard, powerful. Chad Farrell, if you decide to get baptized, maybe David Wood can do it for you in a river. If I decide to get baptized, I'm going to go to Israel again and get baptized in the Jordan River. How about that?
Jordan River.
By Archbishop, what's his name? Anyway,
Yeah, by that super bass Archbishop.
Let's not bring it up. The
Yeah, because
Archbishop.
he'll be like, and I baptize you. I baptize you into the name of the Muhammad. May you and my parents be sacrificed for him.
Man. Oh, wait a minute. There's a movie?
Guys, we're not joking. This is
Oh, is this what I'm not getting the reference?
the movie GH.
Is there a movie about Padre Pio with? Is that the joke? Is that what I'm not getting here? Is that what I'm not getting here? Padre
Should
Pio
have had
movie.
Ryan Gosling and not.
Oh, you.
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh.
Is it with Shia LaBeouf?
I didn't know that. There's a movie about him with Shia LaBeouf.
Is it with Shia LaBeouf or not?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
But apparently
so that makes sense. So
it has
we're just making stuff up.
terrible reviews here, which is a very good
Shocker.
indicator.
That's what they want you to think. That's because the Jews wrote the reviews.
From looking at the average review, it seems like it's probably a terrible misrepresentation or something. I'm not sure. I had no idea that this exists, but I'll have to look at it now. I even remember seeing this face somewhere. I had no idea. I'll check it out. No, I really didn't know, man. I had no idea. I really didn't know. I'm just waiting for a movie where Ryan Gosling plays the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem. Where can I find that voice message Andrew Tate left to the girl of him bragging about the grape? I'm pretty sure that if you look for it on Twitter, you will find it.
Pretty easy to go to Milk Bar, Murdered by Crayons.
Milk
They include
Bar.
that pretty regularly, but yeah, you can search for it.
Milk bar. Andrew Tate rape recording. Let me see. If I look for it right here, they see there. I found it. It's right here.
It turned me on. Why am I like that? Why?
Whilst we were having sex.
Okay, I don't want to listen to this right now.
Forget exactly how lucky you were to get by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather you didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to? That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet.
And then the next day.
The smartest. One of the defining characteristics of being the smartest person on the planet is that you always confess to all your crimes for years, and then you say you never did it. All the things you confessed to for years.
It's one thing to put on a public thing and start talking like I'm the smartest person on the planet. He actually does it in private as well.
When he's talking to some girl he just raped.
Yeah.
Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't pass out.
But he kind of kept saying, I own you, you belong to me, like threatening to kill me.
Chill the out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool.
I thought
See, you're not cool if you don't like being raped and choked unconscious by me. I thought you were cool. Don't you want to be cool?
Person, because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I loved how much you hated it.
Yeah, it's the mindset of a rapist.
Why am I like that? Why?
So some people were like, "Oh no, it's just part of being like part of sex play and so." No, he's obviously right there. admitting that she didn't like it, that she hated it, and he loved it even more.
And then the smartest person on the planet left that message on the phone of the girl he just raped.
Yes.
That's the smartest person on the planet. Some people would think that you should say that in person while you're not being recorded, but not the smartest person in the world. No. He records it in a voice message to her that can be played on various websites forever.
Islam is hilarious. He says more psychotic than Daily Wire. I agree.
Daily Wire is very psychotic, so that's saying something.
There's something wrong with Daily Wire, and Andrew Tate is even worse.
Daily Wire.
Ava Blue says, I love hearing you roast Andrew Tate. Gives me hope. LOL. Alhamdulillah. That's why we do it. Based, says John Lee. I imagine if you program ChatGPT to answer the questions about the Talmud, make sure you do a Lily style reaction.
That would be funny.
Hey, wait a minute. You could totally do that.
That would be funny.
Huh.
Hey, did you see there's now the Lily Tate impersonators? IP already responded to one. Now it's a guy. He does the same thing. And was how old was Prophet Muhammad? He does the exact same thing. It's so funny. You wonder how many of them can. Gosh, they're such copycats of everything else anyone else does. Oh, this worked. Let me do it. Come on, that was her grift, man. Why you got to get in on her grift?
Yeah, leave her grift alone, man. Leave her grift alone. It's her grift.
Dawa, leave that grift alone.
It's her grift. Beast. Dave, what are we doing tomorrow, man?
What?
Goat says Catholic nuns cover their heads. You see, powerful. David, what are we doing tomorrow? We still have some super chats, but
that will depend. That will depend. I will be in a hotel, so I will have to check the internet. I'd like to go live because there's a million things to cover, but I will be traveling to visit my grandmother. I will be free in the evenings to go live, but I'll have to check the internet connection speed.
Okay. I was thinking, what hotel? You can't even travel anywhere. But yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, anyway, since you got canceled by the UK, I think they decided to invite me as a replacement speaker to the UK.
Oh, you should crush that speech
for summer.
And you should dial it up and make it like 10 times as brutal as anything I would have said, and then be calling out Muslims the entire time. Yes, this is what you get. This is what you get.
I will do that. To a conference which I'm invited to. Vincent Khatibi says, AP, I will be serious for a second here. I speak as a Christian who is Orthodox. Do not think that you have to join a church. If you believe in the truth, God loves you. I can say that I would leave every church if I felt it was corrupted. God bless you.
Fourth, you have to join the one true church and all others will be anathema.
This is interesting. That said, I like churches, so, and I'm currently interested in some churches, in a particular one. But before you even know it, I might announce that I am now officially identifying with a faith. I'm not really sure how I will do that, if I will do that, and when I will do that. I don't know. Alex R. just got here and realized there is never a bad time to enter these live streams.
That's true.
David doing a raspy dawa voice. Coffee is bitter. Islam is bitter. Coffee is just like Islam. Nothing but gold in these streams. This is true, Alex. And Wyckoff. AP, I mentioned Christ on the Jewish Road by Reverend Richard Wurmbrand last because he had the same journey regarding Jews and Orthodox, Catholic, etc. churches. He appreciated both traditions. A holy and wise man. Is he a Messianic Jew? Richard Wurmbrand? Is that him? No. That's a different guy? Who that?
I know that name.
Who that?
Wurmbrand's famous.
Was a Romanian evangelical Lutheran priest. Oh, and professor of Jewish descent, having become a Christian 10 years before he publicly said communism and Christianity were incompatible. Beast. Wurmbrand preached at bomb shelters and rescued Jews during World War II. He experienced imprisonment and torture by the communist regime of Romania, which maintained a policy of state atheism. Beast. I gotta check out this guy. Interesting. I gotta check out this guy. Check out this guy. Let's see. AP and David, have you guys checked out Joel Kramer's from YouTube channel Expedition Bible? His channel on archaeological biblical sites in Israel are very well done, and I think you would like it. Who is that? Expedition Bible?
Not familiar with that.
Expedition Bible. Expedition Bible brings you the teachings of Joel Kramer, a biblical archaeologist and former expeditioner in his younger years. Joel teaches by taking you into the Bible, showing you biblical sides. Interesting. I'm going to subscribe here. Okay. Faith is the willful suspension, says Daryl, of critical thinking. Essentially, it's the firm that trust that something is true despite not having concrete proof. Atheism is the only thing that is true. Atheism is the most based. Atheism is reasoning, logic, and thinking. Atheism for the world. Atheism is the only truth. Atheism is the only truth. Those who reject atheism will go to hell of reasoning.
Yeah, dude, this is what's funny. You get idiots like Daryl. It's like, hey,
don't call him an idiot, man.
Let me say what Richard Dawkins said about faith 15 years ago and then just mindlessly repeat it for the rest of my life and never bother to ask anyone what they actually mean by faith. Faith is a kind of confidence and trust you put in someone based on what you know. It's like I can say, I have faith in my wife. Why? I've known her for a long time. I know things go rough. I know I can trust my wife. I have faith in my wife. Faith in Jesus was, it's his own disciples he's telling to have faith. They'd seen the man walk on water. What's he saying? Hey, you've seen me do all these things. Now trust me that I can handle these things. So why do you think you sound like an idiot to anyone who's ever had an original thought at any point in his entire life?
Here's the thing. Daryl. Right now, especially right now, I am not at a point where I want to have discussions with people on what to believe. I don't want to have a discussion with you about what you believe. I don't want to have a discussion with you about what I believe. I have been, over the last years, forever on a journey of trusting my own mind over everything else, and just going with that and running with that, and discussing things publicly, privately, and so on. And I have been as atheistic and skeptic and agnostic about things as possible. I am at a point right now where no matter who you are, seriously, and I'm speaking to everybody here, all the camps, no matter who you are, I really don't want to have a discussion with you or get any advice on what to believe and what to do. I have had many, many, many years of going through this. If you want to be an atheist, if you want to be an agnostic, if you want to do something with your life that you think is right, good luck to you. Good luck to you, and all the best to you. I had my own journey and my own path. At this point where I am with my own path, if atheism works for you, if a non-religious life works for you, if agnosticism works for you, if any of these things work for you, I'm happy for you. Okay, I'm happy for you, and I wish you all the best, and I wish you good luck. Things didn't work for me the way that I expected them to work for me. Things didn't work for me. Things don't work for many of us the way they work for you. So I would advise not trying to push people around. And I also see this internally.
No,
go ahead. What?
Oh, I just wanted to say, especially if it's, hey, here's all the stuff you guys heard from the new atheists for 20 years straight. And it was all the same thing, and all us saying the same thing over. Here's what faith is. Here's what faith is. Here's what faith is. There's no evidence. Sky daddy, sky daddy, sky daddy, sky daddy, sky daddy. And then oh, that worked 20 years ago because there were a bunch of gullible morons who fell for that idiotic nonsense. And one of them's right here, Daryl. And then here you are in 2025. Let me try the same thing because it's what makes me feel good. I get to tell everyone they're dumb and I'm smart. They're all dumb. I'm smart. They're dumb. I'm smart. My goodness, dude. Do you realize how brainwashed you, has it ever crossed your mind what a brainwashed clown you are, that this is how you spend your time? Give it up, dude. Your time has come and gone. The new atheist had their run. They said, hey, we'll just get millions of people to leave Christianity, become atheists, and the world would become better. And the world starts instantly falling apart. No one's buying it anymore. And you're locked into it because now I have to wrestle with the idea that maybe I'm not superior to everyone. Oh my goodness, what will I do? Let me just do it. Sky Daddy, Sky Daddy, Sky Daddy. Dude, it's freaking pathetic.
Sky Diddy. I'm also
loser, man.
I also have the same issue with Christians internally. Actually, I want to say that as well, and the same message to them. Like when I talk about my experience or my observations within Christianity, there are always some people, like most people, are completely cool with whatever, and will say I'm happy. There are some people who want to start with infighting or with pushing you around and with telling you what the real Christianity is and what way you should actually go and so on. I disregard those immediately. I'm telling you right now. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you right now, if you send me a message, if you sent me $5,000 attached to that message, if you sent me a message, an email, if you send me 5,000 emails, if you send me a message on Twitter, if you make posts about it and say, hey, don't listen to this church, don't listen to that practice, I ignore it immediately. I don't care. I'm serious. I don't take it seriously. I ignore it. The last thing I want right now is to listen to, number one, people telling me, no, don't go that path. Don't become Christian. Don't become religious. And number two, others telling me, no, not this church. No, not that church. No, not this. No, not that. Go this way. I ignore all of those right now. I really don't care. I'm way past this. I'm way over this. I don't want to pay attention to any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's also something weird because we always talk about, we'll talk about the Dawa guys and they'll use the exact same approach on someone with whom that approach would never work, but it's the only approach they know. They have no plan B, so they'll keep doing the same thing over and over again. So they'll use we'll heap insults and abuse on you if you don't do what we want. And they'll even do it to the wrong personality type where treating people like that's actually going to give them the opposite reaction. They're going to come after you even more, but they don't understand that, okay, there's different approaches for different people, but it's like, I've never been nagged into believing anything, right? That's we'll just keep telling you and say it over and over and over and over again. And every time you come online, we'll say it over and over and over. Okay. That has never once convinced me to take any position. In fact, I'll say the more annoying you are, the less the more I'm a contrarian. I have a natural reaction to do the opposite of what you're trying to nag me into. But yeah, I would imagine that if you had some position on why this church is more correct than that church, that you could over time persuade AP of that somehow. I just don't believe it's just going to be like by constantly harassing him about it. It's not, I don't think that's going to be successful.
Powerful. You know, the funny thing is I actually, I talked to a priest and I talked to him about how I have been practicing prayers and practices of two different traditions to him. And I was kind of reluctant to tell him this because I was like, I'm talking to an Orthodox priest, and I tell him about how I have been doing all these Catholic things for quite a while now, and I love him, and so on. His response to me was not that these are wrong practices, or that his response was not even to offer me an alternative and to go that way. His response was basically that there's goodness in that as well, and so on. It was a wonderful thing to hear. Online, I unfortunately have people
he's wrong,
trying to fight and so on. But
he should have shamed and humiliated you.
So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah. But thank you, Daryl. I nevertheless appreciate your concerns and your struggle. I should write a book about it and call it My Struggle.
The atheist struggle is real. That's the first line of your new book.
Misha says, Shia Muslim Lebov in holding the narrative Ezra. Powerful. John says, Monster Hunter Wilds releases in an hour. I've never ever played any game of that series. It just looked kind of weird to me. I don't know. But have fun. Christine Live. What's up, Christine Live? Another super chat? Another super chat, Christine Live. I'm breaking the bank tonight. I'm imploring you to find a local parish that has Eucharistic adoration. Go and just sit there. The Holy Eucharist is on display in a special place in the church. Just go and sit there and ask Jesus for yourself to reveal himself to you. Solid advice, I must say. Solid advice. I appreciate it very much, Christine. Thank you. Cam, PBD, like, why can't Andrew Tate come to America? Me, PBD, Andrew Tate is a graper. Both. I like PBD, but dude has terrible take on Tate. Yeah, Patrick Bet-David is kind of an idiot. And
that's what sucks. Like some of these guys, they don't realize like damaging their long-term credibility with people who actually pay attention to things like this. It's like I mean, PBD, he's obviously done some great shows, great podcasts, and so on. Had some awesome guests over the years, done some cutting edge stuff. But then it's like if you all of a sudden we find out, oh, and he's an Andrew Tate fanboy who can't be persuaded no matter how much evidence there is. Okay, now I think you're kind of an idiot or slimy or both, one of them. But it, under no circumstances do I trust you after that.
Well, that's funny. I actually responded to him earlier. I forgot about this.
Who?
Here's PBD. He responded to Jeremy Boring, who said, the way conservatives and conservative organizations respond to Andrew Tate arriving on U.S. soil will tell you everything you need to know about them. Any organization or host who embraces him is engaged in far worse than simple grift. Though it is that. Andrew Tate is the...
Oh, it is that?
Yeah. Andrew Tate is the enemy of any traditional American conservatism. This line here, 100%.
Yeah, isn't it weird that you've got some of these guys? So you've got the Babylon Bee guys, the Daily Wire guys, and this like instant common sense, and like they're just stating the obvious. I mean, it's like if you didn't know what the actual reality was, and you just said, okay, here's a group, and here's their values and ideals, and here's Andrew Tate, and here's what he is. How well is this going to go together? It'd be like, nope, 100% of these guys are going to say this guy's an abomination. Stay away from us, you scum. But it's not. But you'll have a bunch of them who have this basic level of common sense and integrity, and then all the other guys just seem completely clueless and duped. And I don't know, man, it's weird stuff.
Just very quickly, interesting question here. Devil Gaming, AP, do you like Hindutva now? Because 2 years ago you didn't like it.
Yeah, he hates all non-Turks.
No, two years ago I actually had a stronger reaction to Hindutva. Which is kind of a derogatory way of, I think, describing the Hindu nationalist bands. In all honesty, over the last 1 or 2 years, I have been more understanding of their stances and their reaction to things. So that's the only development that happened. I'm no longer against the Hindu nationalist stances and behaviors in response to Islam. I still have a problem with how they treat others, though, I have to say. But anyway, in response to this by Jeremy Boring, Patrick Bet-David said, I wonder who you're referring to.
Yes, you among others, Jeremy.
So I said, you love Andrew Tate despite the fact that he made millions creating porn with girls whom he raped, trafficked, and groomed. Could be you.
Good point.
So it's good. He probably read this and thought, I don't know what you're talking about. Not sure what you mean by this. Pure Life. AP will love you, but more importantly, Jesus Christ loves you and paid your price in full. Powerful. Thank you. Appreciate it. Daryl, good luck on your journey. See? See, thank you, Daryl. He could just be like this, but David is like, no, I want to fight, Daryl.
No, good luck on your journey of stupidity and ignorance. Come on, let's say, hail Dawkins. Dawkins, my hero. No Sky Daddies. We don't believe in Sky Daddies.
My point was that believing in Christ is the truth. Powerful. And Wyckoff, Richard Wurmbrand started Voice of the Martyrs after spending years in prison. He spoke 10 languages.
That's where I knew him from.
What is
I couldn't picture him in my head, and I've seen that name a million times. Yes, I used to read Voice of the Martyrs in prison. But yeah, that's where he is.
What is that? Is it a magazine?
It's it's a magazine, and they update you on persecution around the world. And that guy had been through it, and then had been through it with the communists and so on. The commies didn't like him, and then he started Voice of the Martyrs.
But it was started by a Jew. How can you trust it?
Richard Wurmbrand started Voice of the Martyrs after spending years in prison. He spoke 10 languages, and his thoughts on theology are profound. I think you would much enjoy reading him on your journey. Thank you. I'll check this out and appreciate it very much. Jew from Khaybar. Hey, what's up, Jew? Are you the same Jew from Khaybar on Twitter? You're funny. Tate should be refused to enter because he's a Sinwar lover, and that is enough. All the other stuff is a bonus. This is true. He said he wishes to have a death like Yahya Sinwar, and I wish that for him too.
That's one of the things that should be shared constantly about Tate. This your guy? This your guy, conservatives? Like if the sex trafficking, if you think the sex trafficking is okay, you also okay with the open support for Hamas terrorists?
Powerful. Chad Farrell, have you guys ever seen the YouTube channel Nabi Asli? Yes. Does good stuff. Jack M of Turkey, not Turkey, you fake agnostic. Turkey, it's Turkey, man. It's Turkey. Turkey. Cooked turkey. Roasted turkey. There are literally millions of fake Christians. I was one for 21 years. You will know them by the fruit they produce. If they love everyone and show grace and kindness, that is a real Christian. Alhamdulillah. Trish Polk says, God will lead you to the right place. May God bless your journey. Love you both, you and David Wood. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Christophorus says, love you both. IAP, I've been praying for you a lot. Glad you're more open to Christianity. Thank you. Appreciate it. Buff IP. Buff IP says convert to Scientology. Alhamdulillah, golden shower.
You know what's weird? Every single time something like this happens, the Buff IP and stuff, because there's a bunch of channels like that. There's like Fat AP, Fat IP, and all this stuff, and they do all these different ones. But like, I'm always like as soon as I see it, I'm like, there was some first guy to do that, and he's probably like unknown forever. Like he could brag, I was the first guy that came up with that, and yet he'll be lost to history. It's the same thing with like D's nuts. There was at some point the first guy that goes D's nuts, and he will forever be not remembered. And yet there was some guy who set that off. Anyway.
Cam Crowder said Tate was terrible. He based on Islam.
Yeah, what did Crowder say about Tate?
What did Crowder say? What did Crowder say about Andrew Tate?
Crowder would be like a coin flip if you said, hey, what do you think he'll say about Tate? It'd be like, I don't know. He could go the Candace direction, or he could go the Daily Wire direction.
Louder with Crowder, Stephen Crowder, Andrew Tate. I don't know. I have no idea. Tate, I don't know. I don't know what he thought and what he thinks. Arctic based AP, seriously, have you considered Tangrism? Yeah, I've also considered the Norse Asatru mythology, and I've also considered converting to a Native American religion, and also considered the religion of the natives of New Zealand, definitely. AP, seriously, have you considered Tengriism, reconnecting with your Turkish roots, following the Skyhawk, and so on and so forth? Maybe. I mean, I would consider it if I was a dumb nomadic guy somewhere, like 1,000 years ago or something, maybe. But what's the point of doing that now? There's no point to it. Plus, I also don't really like anything about the Turkish culture and their Turkish roots. I would like to get away from them. Also, this is very, very much weirdly blood-centered thinking. If you want to get down to my DNA and where my ancestry is from, it is probably much more likely rooted in Greek and Armenian cultures than in some nomadic Turkic weirdos. Shane Johnson, I'm not trying to be annoying. I'm also not trying to harass you. I'm just saying there are more options. Maybe I didn't go about it the right way. Proverbs 3, 5, 6. I don't even remember what your comment was, Shane. What was it?
I couldn't find what Crowder said about Tate. So I was wondering if that was referring to something like today, based on Tate going to the U.S., but I couldn't find anything from today. So I don't know if that's old, but
I forgot what Shane's point was. What did you say? What was that? I forgot. I'm sorry. Proverbs 3, 5 to 6. David, you have it all memorized. What does it say?
Very based, very based.
That's what it says, very based in Proverbs.
Yeah, that's a famous proverb.
Oh yeah. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Based. Super based. Super based. I appreciate it, Shane. Thank you. Benny Johnson is a sellout with no real morals. He's also gay for Andrew Tate, so he's just one of those people who just want to get on their knees and give Andrew Tate sexual pleasure. So it's just what are you gonna do?
Yeah, dude. I mean, seriously, that's another perfect example. I didn't know who Benny Johnson was until he started. We're gonna get Andrew Tate. It's the greatest thing. We got Alina What's-Her-Face, and she's just gonna be googly eyed over the entire time. Isn't this great? And everyone blasted him. He's like, well, innocent until proven guilty. And it's like, dude, shut up, man. That's what I mean. Like, I had no clue who you are, and now my view is you're a complete gullible idiot and a Tate fan, which makes you a terrible person.
Look, I understand if you're I understand if you have a sexual interest in Andrew Tate and want to, get together with him and be like one of his sex toys or something. But please don't use your public space to, be an apologist for Andrew Tate.
Yeah,
do whatever you want to do to him in private. Don't bring it on in front of everyone's face and praise him or anything. It's ridiculous.
It's one thing if it was like 6 or 7 years ago when there was still a lot of people who didn't know a lot of stuff. If you're still doing it now, it's like, dude, the internet lasts, man. The internet's forever, and you get to. I mean, this guy's eventually gonna be convicted and so on, eventually completely exposed, and you get to go down as one of the people who tried to defend him, a sex trafficker. That's what you did. That's what you did with your life.
I would still say if you're doing it now, you can do it, but just do it in private. Don't. It's kind of disgusting when you put it in everyone's face. Boff IP, have you considered Odinism? His son killed Thanos. Yes. GoTub, whatever you do, don't be part of Wingerlingism.
That's a good point. That's the best comment of the day.
Where's my Winger merch, man? I ordered merch from Mike Winger and it's still not here. I ordered it like weeks ago.
Never trust a Wingerling.
What the hell is wrong with people? Anyway, in addition to that, the only thing Islam and Catholicism have in common is the current Pope. Ooh. 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 No, I have a lot of respect for the Pope and the papal.
But the papal.
But this was a brutal line, so I have to say it. This was a brutal burn. So gosh, that was brutal. That was brutal. Anyway, but I don't want to leave on such a bad note. So let's leave on something better, such as Leland March says Andrew Tate is inbred. Thank you so much. We can leave on that. This is a good point to end it. So, all right, David. So we're probably going live tomorrow from your mom's basement, you said.
I will be at a hotel. I will check the interweb connection. If it's a good connection, we'll be live. If it's not, I will not be live.
That's good. All right. If you're not going live, then I'll just go live by myself or something. Or I'll go live with Buff IP.
I'll let you know between 3 and 4. That's check in at the hotel. So I'll run the test then.
That's true. That's true. Alisa said Shabbat Shalom. Haha, I can read that. See?
Powerful.
I can read it now. It says Shabbat Shalom. And Yafit Don also said Shabbat Shalom. I can read it now. You see? This is the proof that I'm a Jew. AP, can you do the rosary now? Are you asking if I can do it now, or are you asking for me to do it right now in front of this on camera? If you're asking if I can do it now, yes, I can. If you're asking me if I can do it on camera, no, I can't. Thank you. Yafit Doran says, ha ha ha. You see, I can read Hebrew. You see, I can read Hebrew. It says ha 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 here. David, you see this? It says ha ha ha.
Beast.
Shabbat Shalom, said Deborah Friedman. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right. Thanks, everybody. As always, have a fantastic day. And for those who don't know, and also for those who don't understand, here we have the translation from the goat who looks like a goat.
Stay away from Islam.